ballots in this year's leadoff presidential primary. White House correspondent Greg Clugston says it's a two-person Republican race.
Donald Trump and Nikki Haley made final appeals heading into the first-in-the-nation primary. Trump was joined on stage last night by three of his former opponents who have now endorsed him: Tim Scott, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Doug Burgum. Meanwhile, Haley stumped for votes alongside Chris Sununu, New Hampshire's popular Republican governor. It's an uphill battle for Haley, who trails Trump in the polls.
Mr. Trump claims that Haley is getting a helping hand from the other side of the aisle in this open primary.
Democrats are not supposed to be voting in Republican primaries. Do we agree?
Haley tells the Salem Radio Network's Hugh Hewitt that she's looking beyond New Hampshire regardless of today's outcome.
We're going to go on to my sweet state of South Carolina, and they're going to vote, and then we're going to go on further. And I think, that's democracy. That's exactly what makes America strong, and that's what we're going to continue to focus on. But we feel very good about where we are.
There is a Democrat primary as well, but President Biden's name is not on the ballot because he had advocated having South Carolina lead off the primary season. Democrats can vote for Dean Phillips or Marianne Williamson, or they can do a Biden write-in vote. 21 Israeli soldiers have died in an attack in Gaza. 3 others were killed elsewhere. It's the largest number of Israeli troops killed in a single day since the start of the war in Gaza. NATO has signed a $1.2 billion contract for tens of thousands of artillery rounds to replenish the dwindling supplies of its member nations. Those stockpiles being drained as the Allies supply Ukraine in its war with Russia. On Wall Street, Dow futures down 25 points. NASDAQ futures 45 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Retirement outlook.
If your retirement account is mostly stocks or bonds, listen closely. The future of your savings may be more uncertain than ever before. Hi, I'm Paul Stone, CEO of Colonial Metals. The sad truth is, our government continues to eat away at our freedoms and security. In economic times like these, run around the flagpole by lunatics in Washington, I look to the most trusted store of wealth in human history, physical gold and silver that you own. At Colonial Metals, we specialize in helping folks with IRAs and 401ks and other retirement accounts move their savings into physical gold and silver. If you'd like a free gold investment kit, give us a call today at 820-800-8000. My team is standing by ready to rush a free gold investment kit to you. You may also qualify for $7,500 in free silver and a free safe. Call 820-800-8000 now. That's 820-800-8000.
Colonial Metals is not a financial advisor. Consult with your advisor before investing.
That's 820-800-8000.
Germany's constitutional court determines that a conservative political party should no longer be eligible for financial support from the government.
With just a few thousand members, Germany's Heimat Party is not significant politically, but removing state funding is a big step because it's being seen as a possible model of how to deal with the AfD party, which is an important force in German politics with over 20% in the polls. Cutting state funding could have lower legal hurdles than an outright ban, but today's decision was only possible because of a previous ruling that the entire Heimat Party was anti-democratic, something which could be difficult to prove with the AfD.
The BBC's Damien McGuinness. Hungary's prime minister is sending a letter to his Swedish counterpart inviting him to Budapest to discuss Sweden's bid to join NATO. The invitation comes as Hungary and Turkey are the only NATO members not to have ratified Sweden's attempt to join. Townhall.com. Mexico's government demands an investigation of the use of American military-grade weapons by the drug cartels.
Mexico's army is finding belt-fed machine guns, rocket launchers, and grenades that are not sold for civilian use in the United States. The Mexican army says it has seized more than 200 automatic machine guns, dozens of grenade and rocket launchers from drug cartels in recent years. Foreign Relations Secretary Alicia Bárcena saying Mexico's defense secretary has warned the U.S. about weapons that are for the exclusive use of the U.S. Army. The cartels have openly displayed some of their weapons on social media. Homemade armored vehicles and bomb-dropping drones have also been used against the military. I'm Norman Hall.
Man suspected of shooting and killing 8 people in suburban Chicago fatally shot himself following a confrontation with U.S. Marshals at a Texas gas station. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to it. It's a little foggy this morning.
A little bit dark. A little dark and dreary.
Not as cold.
No, actually, it was kind of like, it was almost like Earth was wearing a blanket.
Yeah.
Or at least this part of it.
Fog blanket.
Yeah, nice little fog blankie.
Yeah. Sleeping on a cloud.
Mm-hmm. It was a weirdly early morning for my house, though. Like everybody was already up at like 5:30.
Interesting.
And, like we were just like getting ready and yeah.
Maybe there's a groove, back into like a groove.
It was just odd. It was like everybody got up to go to the bathroom at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Since we all share one bathroom, there was a bit of a line for me.
Bit of a
queue.
line. Need the co-pilot. You need to get that line.
And that one bathroom is 10 feet away from the foot of my bed, so you know it was a crowded bedroom first thing this morning.
Yeah. But everybody got up and around and got off and started their day.
Mm-hmm.
And well, if you're in the middle of doing that right now, good luck to you.
That's right.
We're all counting on you.
All you parents out there, I see you and I feel you.
That's right. Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope your Tuesday is going swimmingly well. Hey, I do want to remind you for dinner tomorrow night, we got you covered.
Okay.
Dion's Pizza. Can't go wrong with Dion's. Right?
Certainly cannot.
Get you any of their delicious pizzas. I'm telling you guys. Get the turkey club.
Mm-hmm.
But replace, I think it gives you Greek dressing.
Right.
Replace it with the green chili ranch.
That green chili, it's ridiculous.
It's a 10. But anyway, so tomorrow night, Dion's Pizza from 5 to 8 p.m. are going to be supporting the Roswell Lady Coyote basketball team. And a portion of the sales of food at Dion's between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. tomorrow will be donated back to the Lady Coyotes here.
Very cool.
You can stop by, dine in. You can call ahead or order online at Dion's.com for dine in or pick up. All of it counts to help in the Roswell Lady Coyotes between 5 and 8 p.m. tomorrow night, Wednesday, the 24th of January. So
nice.
Get that mark it on your calendars. Dion's does that a lot for organizations around in our community.
Yep.
So if we hear about them, we tell everybody. But yeah.
And if you're an organization, community organization, or a sports team that's looking for support, Dion's is they love to lend a hand.
Absolutely, yeah, they're a great business that's helping our local businesses, our local organizations. So pretty cool there. And oh, by the way, their pizza's just on point.
It's second to none. The one thing that anybody when I go back to Oklahoma asks me is, "Can you bring some Dion's Ranch?"
Right. Yeah, the ranch
That's
is
all my sister. Like, I didn't do it this last time, and she was mad.
Barely
She's like,
let you in the
didn't
house.
bring me any ranch.
Yeah, you tell her there's a Dion's in town now. Like it's before you had to go to Albuquerque and pick some up, but the last couple of years we've been fortunate to have Dion's in Roswell, and yeah, I've bought bottles of that green chili ranch, and that's it. Like I have lunch now.
Yeah, I'll darken their door just to get some ranch.
I just need some ranch. It'll be good. It's almost
just give me enough to get me home.
That's right. I need my fix. But big thank you to Dion's. And you're right. I will definitely say that's the best pizza I've had in the state of New Mexico.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
There's a couple that have been up there.
I'll miss some good pizzas.
There's some places that are no longer in business that were there when I lived in Rio Rancho, and this was when I was a kid, that like reestablished to me what pizza could be. And those places like Venezio's, for example, that was an amazing slice of pizza. And again, my dad was a toppings like scoundrel, so he would get like the Ultra Supreme, and he just stacked this high with. It's like you couldn't eat it without a support hand. But that pizza was ridiculous. But yes, for sure, Dion's is a very, very close second to my childhood.
Yeah. Where your dad would be, because Dion's will hit you at the toppings.
Yes,
too.
they will.
Like you, especially if you get like a Supreme or one of their specialty pizzas, and you're like, holy mackerel! It's like all pepperoni and toppings. But,
it's very odd to see a street light still on this time of year. But where do you stand vis-a-vis black olives?
I like them.
All right, do you?
Yeah.
That's a very divisive pizza topping. For
I'm
sure.
down with the black olives.
I feel like if you're gonna make a Supreme or like a classic combo, you have to have the black olives on there.
To be honest, I crave that as just a topping. Like my go-to. Like if someone said, "Quick, your go-to pizza, sausage and mushroom." That's my go-to. But on occasion, I'll throw some black olives on there.
Heck yeah.
On occasion, I'll be like,
it's the only time I actually like black olives.
Yeah.
The other time, and you're never going to experience this again unless you replicate it, is Taco Bell. Do you remember that Taco Bell used to serve black olives as part of its some of its food?
That was a long time ago.
That was the 80s / early 90s.
Back when they had vegetables.
I got to live that moment. And there's something about those 3 black olives on top of your enchilada that just makes it.
Kind of gives it the
adds
chef's
that
kiss.
Pop. Yep.
Yeah.
So now you got to carry your own.
I've always been, and I like olives. Period. I like green ones, black ones. I'm down with olives. I'm good with them. Yeah, I'm always getting olives on. I'm good with that. My wife doesn't mind black olives. Does not like green.
See, green olives are the only ones that I will eat like as a standalone.
Yeah.
Black olives, I can't wrap my head around just eating those by themselves.
Well, I think of Thanksgiving when I think of green olives.
Really?
Because growing up Thanksgiving, there was always that tray of like little sweet pickles.
Oh yeah.
Little dill pickles and olives.
My mom had the 3-tiered little like, gold stand.
Anytime the olives got busted out, it was usually a holiday, like Thanksgiving. So that's
I'll tell you that is one of the ways that as an adult of very little means, I have found I can like indulge and treat myself is the amount of things that they're now stuffing into olives is very impressive.
Yeah.
And you can try all sorts of different, like blue cheese stuffed olives. Really good.
Okay.
They have ones that are like stuffed with whole garlic cloves. If you can fit it into an olive, they'll put it in there.
They're like nature's combos.
Really, they are. That's exactly what they are. I didn't think about that. Did you put nacho cheese into an olive? We did.
That's right.
Okay, you keep doing you. It is just a hollow vessel with which to fill.
That's right. It's like celery.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, celery is definitely one of those you have to accompany it with something.
Peanut butter or pimento cheese or something. Yeah, you gotta do something with that bad boy. But
put some ants on that log, and now we're back to black olives.
I think I was a teenager before I realized that olives didn't have pimentos already in them.
Right? They don't just come this way on the tree. They just that's where the pimentos come from. They take it out of the olive. Right. It makes sense.
That's where the pit is. But yeah, I always and you ever first time you ever had pitted olives? Well, that's not fun.
Oh yeah, because you're
like, wow, these olives are big, and then you're like, oh.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, Kalamata olives. The first time I ever had like those the Egyptian olives. Here's what's crazy is up in Albuquerque, there's a world market. You can go. There's like each aisle's a different country.
Yeah,
and so you go to the Egypt aisle. And
it's like Disney World.
Kind of, yeah. You go to the Egypt aisle, and they have a bunch of these different like things that are stuffed in grape leaves. That's like their big go-to in cans. And one of them was full Kalamata olives, but they were pitted. So it's like, why
would you put a pitted olive.
That's
in
what I'm
something
saying, because you're eating it
It's
like
bite-sized.
like a
Yeah, like a finger food.
a cake or something, and you bite into a pit. It feels like an extra step. I don't know, but yeah, that's how they like them.
Well, and that's why. And I get it; it's a fancy thing or something. But like, that's why I hate when I get like a seafood soup or like a bake or bowl, something that kind of you use with a fork.
Right.
And they proceed to put mussels, clams, or shrimp in the shell still, or the tail on the shrimp still. And I'm like, now I got to stop what I'm doing.
Right.
Take the stupid tail off this thing and then get back to a fork and knife.
The tail on the shrimp is definitely an annoying part, but
Yeah.
I feel like the clamshell is there for flavor.
Yeah, but it's kind of a pain in the butt.
It is.
It sucks up so much room in the bowl because you can't eat it. It's just a waste of space.
So you don't like your soup with added activities?
Yeah, I don't like all this.
Mike's just one of these people.
Yeah.
He's just a shovel it in.
Yeah, I don't want to have to put the spoon down to get to digging things out of there.
Have you ever seen Mike? He eats like what's that movie? What's that Will Ferrell movie with Kevin Hart?
Where he goes to prison?
Yeah.
Get Hard.
Get Hard.
Yeah.
Mike eats like Will Ferrell and Get Hard, where he's at the dinner table. He's just like, hovers over it to make sure nobody gets his cocktail free.
That's right. Well, anybody's gone through basic training, you learn to eat.
I've seen how Kim runs a kitchen. All right? I understand. Mike's very protective. She goes, "You gonna finish that? Why don't you give me your sandwich?"
You know what kind of credit I get in the house with bun cakes? I got all kinds of credit on those. Oh, man. Well, let me give you the rundown for today's show. Unfortunately, my guest had to cancel for this hour, so we're going to replay our interview we had with Sean Powell, president of ENMUR last week. I talked to him for about 15, 20 minutes. We'll play that interview for you this hour. Crystal Noble joined us last week or week before with Sean, and so we're going to play that in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Geneva Martinez with Many Hands is going to join us, and they've got some stuff coming up here. They want to put on people's radar, need some help with things in the legislative and financial world. Of course, if you're not familiar, Many Hands is a organization that started within the last year or two, and they focus on helping the homeless. They run the Gonzalez Warming Center that opened up here in the last few months and has been opening here on cold nights for homeless.
Yep.
That's the organization that's running that. And so they'll give us an update here at 9:15.
Did you see the TikTok she was in?
No, this one with Bam.
I'm not sure.
I got to ask her about that today.
You definitely have to. I'm not sure where they shot it, but it's Bam and basically his crew and Geneva, and they're all zigzag skating. It's like a I don't even know what to call it, like a snake canal.
Are they like slalom?
Yeah, kind of like a slalom. Yeah, but they're just going down like in a line almost. And the way it's shot is from behind, and you just see like all these skateboarders, and then Geneva on a roller skate.
Yeah, but I say Geneva's
just
a
kind
roller
of
skate.
intersecting, and it's really beautifully shot, like with the lighting and stuff. They I think they went out at like the magic hour.
Okay.
Like right at like 5:30 to get this like perfect shot. But it's really cool, and it's sort of blown up on the TikTok. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll have to ask about that. I don't TikTok enough to know to. The only TikTok I see is like someone shares a TikTok video on Twitter or something, and I'm like, oh, there it is. Okay.
Once you dip a toe, you're sort of like in the universe.
Well, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole.
It is a dangerous place to be, because once you start like scrolling through several, then you start seeing the live streams. And that's the side of TikTok that gets weird.
Yeah.
There's a whole like subsection of TikTok that, like, people will do like live stream videos of them sleeping with like a poster on the wall of, if you buy these trinkets to then like, give me a flower, that's like $1 that you tip or whatever. It says on the wall, it'll play a sound, or like an air horn, or it'll give you an electric shock. So like this dude's trying to get sleep at night, and basically he's getting constant donations that are just playing like loud noises in his room or turning the lights on and off. And it's basically people paying to watch somebody get tortured.
Are people that desperate?
Yes, we are. Because here's the thing, I keep getting fed it because I stopped, because I'm like, what is this now? And then it keeps popping up in my feed.
School's not that bad, kids. I mean, go to it. Get an education. Then we don't have to have people wake up in the middle of the night for $1.
That's not even the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Have you ventured into the whole world of NPCs?
I guess not. Well, I mean, I've heard of NPCs.
Well, non-playable characters. Basically, there's people on TikTok, their streams, that every time they get tipped something, they'll say something like, "Gang, gang, ice cream, so good." And they'll it's just constant. And it's just a human being, but they're just saying these predetermined phrases.
I've seen some of that.
Gang, 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 gang.
Yeah.
Ice cream, so good.
I've seen some of the result, and it's literally a video of these people acting like complete weirdos.
Just
almost like they've got some kind of nervous tick.
It's basically like they're being robots. And the trend has passed, thank God. But for a 2-month period, people were like legit making a ton of money on these things.
Just go to school.
It's a weird world we live in, man.
Just go to school, get an education, get your money the regular way.
Ice cream's so good.
Yeah. All right, it's 7:21. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be hitting about 50 to 55 on the afternoon high today, and we've got a pretty good chance of showers with that low pressure system working its way through our area. For tonight, maybe a few lingering showers. They'll be over with by about midnight, our low in the upper 30s. We'll start off Wednesday with clouds and maybe an early shower, and then clearing up a little bit in the afternoon, upper 50s to about 60. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 36 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 73%. Winds are out of the north at 5 miles per hour. We do have a chance of rain this morning. They're saying like a 40% chance of rain. The sweet spot is all day, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mostly cloudy. 56 are expected high today. Winds be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. They'll shift to the south later this afternoon. Tonight, we are looking at a 50% chance at showers. Could see some patchy fog rolling in overnight. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 39 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. They're saying less than 1/10 of an inch expected this evening, but good chance of it. So there we go. For you Wednesday, waking up with a 20% chance at some showers, patchy fog in the morning, otherwise cloudy. AM gradually becoming sunny as the day progresses. High of 57 on Wednesday with winds out of the northwest at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 32 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, mostly sunny, 61 for high. 81 be a little wild, but 61 still pretty nice on Thursday. Friday, mostly sunny and 58 degrees. And then looking at the weekend, sunny, 56 for your Saturday, sunny and 58 for Sunday. All right, it is 7:23. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll do your Roswell Livestock Report recap of Smiley Wooten as well. And then on the other side, we'll play our interview with Dr. Sean Powell from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 2,259 head of cattle sold on Monday on a higher market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold 10 to 20 higher. Feeder cattle 3 to 5 higher. Packer cows and bulls $3 to $6 higher. 3 to 400 pound steers 327, 367. 3 to 400 pound heifers 296, 325. 4 to 500 pound steers 290, 327. 4 to 500 pound heifers 257, 296. 5 to 600 pound steers 264 to 290. 5 to 600 pound heifers 223.50, 257. 6 700 pound steers 225, 264. 6 700 pound heifers 207, 223.50. 7 800 pound steers 211, 225. 7 800 pound heifers 191, 207. Packer cows $1, 110. Kenner and cutter cows 75.85. Packer bulls 115, 124. Feeder bulls 92 to 98. Top half the cow calf pairs $1,800 to $2,300 per pair. Top half the bred cows $1,500 to $2,000 per head. We do appreciate the business. We'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
A dining set is the staple of family gatherings. It's where you spend holidays, where you help your kids with their homework. It's an entertainment setting for game nights or new recipes. Your dining room is a centerpiece of style and design. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. Here at Glenn's, we bring quality to the modern dining room. Our selection is extensive with clean lines and subtle curves, from traditional to contemporary with wood or stone tops. Stylize your dining room at Glenn's on Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Foot and ankle problems are often agonizing, but they don't have to be. At Artesia General Hospital, we're passionate about helping every patient return to optimal mobility with confidence and comfort. Our board-certified podiatrists, Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa, provide a full spectrum of services ranging from routine foot care and pain relief to customized treatment plans and leading-edge surgeries. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request your appointment today.
We can all use help to strengthen our marriages, to build this house. Church on the Move invites you to the Joy of Marriage Conference, a 3-day event for married couples. Hear speakers Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman, American Idol finalist Danny Gokey and his wife Leah Sett, as well as Willie and Rachel Scott, founders of Better Than Blended. February 15th through the 17th at Church on the Move in Roswell. Seats are limited. Visit cotmroswell.com or call the church office, 575-622-7011. Get your tickets now for Red Zone Presents A Night with Jason Witten, coming to Artesia Saturday, April 13th. Jason Witten is an 11-time Pro Bowl selection and 2-time NFL All-Pro with the Dallas Cowboys and is currently head coach at Liberty Christian High School in Argyle, Texas. Jason is one of sports' top leaders on and off the field. Tickets are free, but you must have a ticket to enter. To get your free tickets, contact the Artesia Chamber of Commerce. This invitation courtesy of H.F. Sinclair. Excited about Jason Witten coming to Artesia.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in the studio this morning from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, Dr. Sean Powell back with us. Morning, Dr. Powell.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
How are you? Happy New Year. I don't think I've talked to you in 2024 here. So.
Oh, this is the first time.
Yeah, so I'm been busy now. You guys are full on getting into the spring semester here now, and you know the vacation's wrapping up. And everybody's getting back. So how's kind of this first weeks here of the opening semester, spring semester?
So today's the first day of class.
Yeah.
And we had a good Martin Luther King Day celebration and observation yesterday, and so I had a lot of community members come to the campus for that.
I actually got to see. Sorry, I didn't. I thought I hit it. I didn't. I got to see on the news last night. They, I think it was NBC. I can't remember which one it was, but they did a nice story on the ENMUR Martin Luther King Jr. presentation. I had some of the audio from the couple of the guest speakers.
Right.
It looked like a very nice and well-attended event.
Right. We had 3 speakers. One was our one of our community college board members, Jamila Miller, and she did a great job. She told a story about her grandmother and the importance that Martin Luther King had to her grandmother and how important those things and those lessons were in her life and development and just the family that she grew up with. And then Coach Clay, Brent Clay from the school district was there, and he did a very nice job of engaging people and talking about some of the lessons and some of the life and time struggles Martin Luther King Jr. had to go through. And then Hiram Williams gave some quotes and offered some observations on the whole event. So it was well attended. Like I said, there were a lot of community members there. So we were very, very glad that people came out, even though it was really cold yesterday. It was more like a Wyoming morning.
Yeah, you might want to bundle up at the parkas and stuff here. especially in southeast New Mexico, where if it hits 40, we don't know what to do with ourselves. So,
right.
But I'm glad that so many people came out and it's kind of not that we're on an island here, but let's face it, because of the culture, the makeup of this area, I don't know if a lot of people in this area may have fully understand or know, the message and what Martin Luther King did during his time here. And I'm not saying that people weren't impacted by civil rights here, but this wasn't Alabama. This wasn't where the hotbed of this stuff was taking place. So to hear people share their stories and share their experiences, especially to a part of the area where maybe there's not a lot of firsthand experience with some of this kind of stuff. I love that, because it at some point, these folks, especially younger folks, as you get on to life, you're going to meet people, you're going to come across experiences. Some are going to be good and positive, some aren't. And so now some of these folks maybe will go back to some of the speeches and things they heard yesterday and said, that's what they're talking about.
Right. And James Edwards was the organizer of the event. He had some other people helping him on a committee, and we appreciated all the services they did. There were some students that came from the Roswell School District, and they had provided some artwork and some questions that had been posed to them, such as what would you do if you met Martin Luther King? What would you want to ask him? Those kinds of questions, and had one of the students come up and present his responses to that. So I think these observations of past historical events and past historical figures are very important here in our country. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and this is a lesson as a bit of a history buff, and I know yourself likes that. History, and it's a cliche, but it is so true. History repeats itself. If you want to know what's going to happen next, go back and look in history. It's reciprocal. It's, and I don't want to get doom and gloom, but look in the times we live in today, and look at the times leading up to World War I and World War II. You're going to find a lot of parallel things going on in history right now. And so that's why it's so important to study, so you can understand it and maybe hope to avoid some of the mistakes in the future here. So.
Absolutely. And hopefully we'll be able to come to some peaceful conclusions in some of the conflicts that are ongoing. It is seeming to be more of a worldwide situation right now, where different parts of the world are engaged in conflict and combat and just ongoing warfare. And it's really something we ought to look at from a humanity side and determine how can we best move forward and resolve these conflicts.
Absolutely.
Try to live together in a more peaceful manner.
We as humanity need to evolve, and that's the message, really, at the end of the day, that Martin Luther King Jr. was, we're all humans. It doesn't matter in the pigment of your skin. It doesn't matter if you're the whitest of white or the blackest of black. You're still just the same human being. And that's the message he's telling. And sure, are we a lot better than we were? But we still have a long way to go in getting that message to everybody here. So days like yesterday are days to advance us towards that goal of we're truly a colorblind race, a society of people. So,
right. Well, and again, the campus is proud to be a part of these observation ceremonies, and we'll be doing more of these as we move forward, just to recognize past events.
Well, the moment you don't, the moment people forget. That's why it's important to do these things every year, and to do, to keep it on the forefront, to keep remind people that it's never wrong to do the right thing. So,
right.
Of course, now that you're in the first week and stuff, I'm sure it's getting pretty geared up with other things, events and stuff. If you do, now that we're starting day one, new students and things, don't forget there's a lot of resources on campus and online to help you when you start hitting walls or having struggles here. Your college students, you're going to hit one at some point. If college was super easy, everyone would have a degree. So you're going to hit moments where you're going to have challenges. There are many, many, many different avenues to help you navigate those challenges all you got to do is reach out and ask or get out and look for it.
Absolutely. And if I have any words of encouragement for the students right now, I would just say, if you're having difficulty in a class, the first point of contact should be your instructor, or your faculty member is the one that's going to understand the material the best that's being taught in that particular section or that particular class. And so I would encourage you to talk with that faculty member, and then also go to our Learning Resource Center. We have tutoring available. We have a math lab. We have a writing lab. We've got other students and other subjects that are available. And we also have online tutoring that's available.
And that is really the strength of Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. And this is that, when we're always talking about why you should come to Eastern and all that, this is that thing. When the going gets tough, it's a small enough campus where you could walk up to the professor and say, I'm having trouble with this. Can you help me? Or, you're not a number. You're not in a class of you and 199 other people. It's, if you have a question, you raise your hand. You don't have to go make an appointment with their assistant after the class or any of that stuff. This is, you've got the best of both worlds here. You use that to your advantage. Even if your goal is to go to Harvard one day, get your college, your skill building on how to be a good college student at E&MUR. So when you get to Harvard and there's not as many people that are willing to help you, they will, but they're going to walk by you unless you ask for it. Or here, someone might stop and say, "You look lost. Let me help you here." And that is the big advantage of E&MUR is to have that ability to when you feel overwhelmed or feel like this is above your ability, there's someone there to you just got to break it down, and here's how we do it. And that's why the student success, that's something that's so important at this level. And so that's what they strive is to, because at the end of the day, the college looks better and is better when there's a bunch of people with degrees saying, look, I didn't have anything, and now I've got an associate's and I'm halfway towards a bachelor's degree. Right. And there's no greater feeling in the world than when you've proven that you can do something in this world. When you, as a homeowner or as a family, when you buy your first home, that's kind of one of those moments. Getting that college degree or that certificate or that moment where you're walking across the stage, it's one of the most powerful things in your life. And once those things happen, you don't realize the other doors that open up, but the confidence you have to push through the doors that don't open up for you. And that's why this is such a great thing. So,
well, and I just want to let people know, whenever we do our in-services, we try to bring in an alumni speaker to talk about their time at the campus and what they've done since they've left. So this past Friday at our campus meeting, Evelyn Alvarez, who was a graduate of Early College High School and E&MU Roswell, and then a graduate of E&MU in Portales with a degree in business, is now doing an online degree in digital marketing, and she's 20 years old.
Awesome.
So she finished that associate's degree when she was 18. 2 years later, she had her bachelor's degree from Portales, and she's just talking about what she's doing now and the future and her plans. And she was very active when she was on campus in some of our club activities, and this, inspirational to hear her stories and what she wants to do with her life.
I love when you have those stories of people that just take the baton and run with it. You know what I mean? Right. You give them an opportunity and they go gangbusters. It sounds like she's one of those people that said, hold my beer, and just put her head down, and now the sky's the limit for her. And I'm going to predict she's only 20. She's not even close to being done yet.
Right.
I got a funny feeling we'll be hearing about her, maybe some of her family pretty soon. So that's a good thing. What other things we definitely want to make sure we get out there to people?
So I just want to make sure people know we are in the process of hiring a livestock judging coach. We'll be announcing that soon. Our plan is to have a livestock judging team available to start competing next fall. Okay. So we want to hire a coach as soon as we can and get that person in place. And that's part of our ag program on the academic side. Okay. It'll be a competitive team. They'll travel and go to livestock judging shows. And it's interesting for the livestock judging at the college level, because the junior colleges or the 2-year campuses compete with the 4-year campuses.
Okay.
So in the ag side, it's all the same.
There's no minors or majors. It's all one thing. You're competing whether you're a school of 200 or 2 million.
Right. And
gotcha.
if the team had been functioning and been up and running, they would have been at the Western Livestock Show in Denver last week.
Okay.
So that's just one of the examples of events that they would travel to. New Mexico State University has a livestock judging team, and so we're looking at some correlations and connections there, as well as the ag programs at Eastern for academic progression. And then the other thing that we're working on is also setting up a air pistol and air rifle club on campus, and we're bringing in an NRA pistol coach who's going to do a certification clinic this weekend. So if anyone's interested in that, just let us know, and we'll be glad to give you the information about that course.
Excellent. So anybody who wants to get out there, please apply in person. And who knows, maybe you're shaping and molding the next generation of the young lives in the ag industry here. So,
absolutely.
Good stuff. Roswell.enmu.edu. There you can go if you want to see all the job openings and things through the campus. You'll find a link there. But also, if you're wanting to be a student, if you want to get in on the spring semester, you got a busy week ahead of you, but you could make it happen this week.
Right.
But it would have to be this week to get set because classes do start today. However, if you're listening and thinking, you know what, I do want to, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe this summer I can start my classes here.
Right.
Well, guess what? Now's a good time. Maybe not this week, but give it a couple of weeks. Come on down, visit the counselors, get enrolled, and let's start the process. Get your financial aid locked in, and then when the summer rolls in, you can start taking your first classes here. So.
Right, and we'll also have the second 8-week semester, and we'll get more word out about that as this week gets past us.
Some of your shortened, like your CDL, some of these more compact classes that they have a bigger demand in the outside workforce, so they're trying to get some qualified people onto the streets here. So, but I think CDL is one of them. There's a couple I think that are falling in that category.
And we're offering more and more gen ed classes on the 8-week semester as well. And CDL, what we've done with CDL programming is we've moved it to the workforce training side.
Okay.
So we took it away from the academic side and shifted it to workforce training.
I gotcha.
And instead of an 8-week class, it's a 5-week class.
Okay, so even faster on that one. But again, if that's something you're interested in, talk to the counselors. They can get you rolling. And
absolutely.
Next thing you know, you'll be behind the 18-wheeler trying to drive around cones and the simulator. I've tried that simulator. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You don't want me with a CDL after that simulator. I only took out I think I killed about 10 virtual people on that.
Boy.
Or at least took out a few cars. But, but it was fun.
Right.
Good deal. Is there anything we missed?
No, I don't think so. I appreciate the chance to be here today.
Anytime, and thanks he was supposed to be on last week, but we all know what happened. I was not around last week. So thank you, Dr. Powell, for working with us here.
We'll see you in a few weeks.
We'll see you in a few weeks. And again, Roswell.enmu.edu has got everything you need there. Also, don't forget to like and follow Eastern Mexico University Roswell's Facebook page, especially if you're a student. That way you can stay up to date on different events and things happening. But if we get some inclement weather, everything, that's usually the first place those closures and delays are posted. So, good deal.
Again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Powell. See you next time.
Take care.
I'm Jared Cirillo. There appears to be a new challenger working to represent New Mexico in the U.S. Senate. But she's no stranger to politics. Nella Domenici, the daughter of the last Republican to represent our state, has filed a statement of organization with the Federal Election Commission. Her father, Pete Domenici, served as the U.S. Senator from our region from 1973 to 2009, 6 terms in all. The filing by Nella Domenici allows her to begin raising and spending money on a political campaign. Incumbent Senator Mark Heinrich is a Democrat. He is currently serving his 3rd term. And we're learning a Carlsbad woman has been arrested for trafficking in the powerful opiate painkiller fentanyl. The Pecos Valley Drug Task Force reports the arrest of Catherine McDonald of Carlsbad. This actually happened on October 11th after a months-long investigation. Agents made contact with McDonald at her home in the 4400 block of Apple Street. A search warrant netted more than 16,000 fentanyl pills, along with methamphetamine, 3 guns, and about $8,000 in paper currency. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Last week, over 71 million login credentials from platforms like Facebook, eBay, and Yahoo were found on the dark web. One of the biggest data breaches ever. I'm Kim Commando, America's Digital Pro. This monstrous leak also revealed 25 million passwords that have never been exposed online before. Hackers are getting really good with stealers, a type of malware that infiltrates your devices. Once in, they record every username and password you enter and send. This breach is a wake-up call. It's time to protect yourself. Strengthen those passwords. Make them complex and unique for each site. Think long with a mix of letters, numbers, and symbols. And watch out for phishing attempts. These sneaky emails and messages try to trick you into giving up your info. Don't click on suspicious links and always verify the source. Finally, check if your email and password were breached. Head to haveibeenpwned.com to check. That's haveibeenpwned.com. Enter to win a brand new PC or Mac right now at commando.com/win.
You can Google anything, but you can't Google trusted advice. And that's why millions just like you turn to Kim Commando every day on national radio, television, and USA Today to help protect and secure your computers, smartphones, televisions, and most important, to keep you and your family safe from hackers and scammers. If you're not already getting Kim's free breaking security alerts, you're missing a critical component to living in today's digital age. You can sign up now at commando.com/subscribe. Kim sends these free email newsletters to your inbox only when data breaches could expose your personal information. And when hackers find new ways to break into your computers and devices, Kim is always looking out for you. It's easy and free to get Kim's breaking security alerts. Go to commando.com/subscribe. Enter your email address and that's it. That's commando.com/subscribe. Commando.com/subscribe.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be hitting about 50 to 55 on the afternoon high today, and we've got a pretty good chance of showers with that low pressure system working its way through our area. For tonight, maybe a few lingering showers. They'll be over with by about midnight, our low in the upper 30s. We'll start off Wednesday with clouds and maybe an early shower, and then clearing up a little bit in the afternoon, upper 50s to about 60. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. A tough road trip over the weekend for the Roswell Coyotes girls basketball team playing at Rio Rancho, and the host Rams won that game on I believe it was Saturday, by a score of 60-46. Roswell next in action, hosting Artesia in a boys-girls doubleheader today, starting at 5:30. Goddard, meanwhile, had a victory over the weekend, defeating Silver at 39-21. The Lady Rockets are 6-11 overall, and will be hosting Clovis, which is 15-3. That starts at 7 o'clock tonight. Gateway Christians on a 2-game winning streak after winning a pair over the weekend, beating NMMI by a point on Friday. That was at the Colts home court, and then defeating Hondo by 15 on Saturday. Gateway Christian against NMMI, a repeat performance today at 5:30. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has recommended that airlines operating older Boeing 737 jets inspect door plugs to ensure that they are properly secured. Regulators have stepped up scrutiny on Boeing after a January 5th mid-air panel blowout on an 8-week-old Alaska Airlines MAX 9 jet. U.S. crude futures rose about 3% on Monday as traders saw oil supply tightening due to conflicts in the Middle East and Ukraine and extreme North American cold weather. The U.S. and U.K. have conducted further rounds of strikes against Houthi targets. The second time in a month, the two countries have bombed Yemen together in an attempt to stop the rebel group targeting shipping in the southern Red Sea. Sunoco said on Monday it would acquire fuels storage and pipeline operator NewStar Energy in a deal valued at $7.3 billion, including debt. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
A snoring partner is more than a rough night's sleep for you. It could lead to some serious problems.
Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Snoring, stopping breathing, and gasping for air in the middle of the night aren't just a pain for you. It could be a sign of sleep apnea, which can result in a lot more problems for both of you. Luckily, we can help. With our revolutionary oral appliance, you and your partner can breathe easier and get a better night's sleep.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455. What's the buzz all about? The Honey Depot, Artesia's little store with a whole lot more. You'll find an unbelievable selection of one-of-a-kind gifts and decor. Everything from candles to soaps, books and Bible study journals, home decor, local honey, seasonings, candies, and more. Not to mention a staff that's sweeter than honey. So buzz on in. If you can't find it here, you probably don't need it. Open Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5:30, Saturdays 10 to 6, closed Sunday and Monday at 104 West Hermosa Drive in Artesia. Shop local. Shop Honey Depot, the little store with a whole lot more. Pecos Valley Production is excited to announce their online ordering has never been easier because now you can order from PVP online in Spanish. Simply head for PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of your screen from English to Spanish. Now it's never been easier to get access to the healing and calming products you need simply and affordably. Just log on to PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of the screen from English to Spanish. Pecos Valley Production. Dairy to dank since 2016. Must be 21 or over with valid ID to purchase.
Need new windows for your home? Beware of the sales gangster. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing and Windows here. A sales gangster is a window salesperson with the mobster mentality. They intimidate, bully, and fast talk you into buying their less than quality windows during a 3-hour pitch. Think I'm kidding? Call a few window companies and see for yourself. Or you can skip the sales gangsters and call Trustmark. We have fair, no-nonsense pricing on our premium windows, and our appointments take only about 60 to 75 minutes. Just long enough to listen to what you need, show you your options, answer your questions, and give you a straightforward quote. Then it's up to you. We can take a no just as easy as a yes, but I'll guarantee you this. No sales gangsters. Sound fair? Call Trustmark Roofing and Windows for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 52 minutes after 7 o'clock. Got a question for you. Are you ready to spice up your life? Well, if you are, I invite you to go on in and check out Dragon Soldier Depot, is Roswell's best new spot to spice it up. Not only can you spice up your wardrobe with custom shirts, hats, custom-made awards, handmade jewelry, fun gifts, gift baskets, all kinds of great stuff for kids and everything too, with custom engraving available on site. Also, you can spice up your taste buds with their great selection of local handmade seasonings to add a little punch to your plate. Try Dragon Soldier's Sweet American Heat, or add a little local flavor with the Kickin' New Mexico Chicken, Mexico green chili seasoning, rockin' ribeye, or the whole 9 yards. So they got some great seasonings for your meats, your next meals. Best of all, 10% of all the profits are donated to New Mexico veteran organizations. So not only you get a little spice to your life via the clothing or engraving or the delicious rubs, but you're also adding spice to our local veterans here too. So visit Dragon Soldier Depot. They're located at 1005 West McGaffey in Roswell, just west of Union. Go where the Patriots shop. Again, check out Dragon Soldier Depot and do a little shopping there too. Let's see. Also want to remind folks, tomorrow night at Dion's, from time to time, the fine folks at Dion's, they do a night where they sponsor an organization, and so during a certain window of time, when you come in and buy a meal or buy food, a portion of your purchase goes back to that organization. Well, they're doing it again tomorrow night. This time they're helping out the Roswell Coyote girls basketball team. So if you visit Dion's Pizza tomorrow night between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., and purchase a meal or, buy some food, a portion of your purchase will go back to the Roswell Lady Coyote basketball team. So that is tomorrow night from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can stop by, dine in like you normally would, or you could call ahead or order online at Deons.com. Either way, any of those methods will get you helping out the Roswell Lady Coyote basketball team. And, of course, your ticket to delicious Deon's pizza, salad, and or subs. All the above is great. Like, their salads are great. I tell you, though, if you get the family-size salad, you better have a family to eat it. Because if you try to eat it with one or two people, you're going to be eating salad till the cows come home.
Well, it's that joke from Parks and Recreation that their family salad is the size of a small family.
It is.
It's like when you buy your child-sized drink, it's 512 ounces because we feel that that's the size liquefied roughly of a 5-year-old child.
But it is a good salad, but boy howdy, is that family size big.
Yes.
So get it.
There's like a whole half dozen eggs just cut up on top.
Yeah, and I've had the chef one that's got like the turkey and the ham. The turkey salad I've had just by itself is good. Because it depends on the company I'm with. If it's with my in-laws, they like just the turkey. But when I'm with other people, we go full-on chef.
Nice.
Salad.
Heck yeah.
Like, how did that become the chef salad? Turkey ham.
I think it was just like it was the style. Maybe I want to say maybe it was like the name of the chef.
And then when does it go cob?
It's like, for example, the Caesar salad has nothing to do with anything Greek. It was actually developed in Mexico, a restaurant in Mexico by this guy named Caesar, whose name was Caesar. Yeah, so
okay, nothing to do with Julius or Augustus.
It's not.
They weren't eating croutons and and lettuce. But what about when does a salad go from a chef salad to a Cobb salad?
I
add
believe
eggs?
that's the addition of eggs. Yeah. Let's see.
But I had
Chef Louis Diat. Like many older recipes, this question doesn't really have a concrete answer, though there are a few thoughts on the matter. Chef Louis Diat of New York City's Ritz-Carlton Hotel often gets the credit for the creation of chef salad. Also, he did include a recipe for the salad in the 1941 cookbook Cooking a la Ritz, although that one does have eggs. So what's the difference between a chef's and a Cobb
I
salad?
will say the chef salad at Dion's has eggs.
What's the difference between a chef's and a Cobb salad?
Maybe it's a dressing.
Cobb salad typically made... Shush. I want to answer this. A Cobb salad is typically made with chopped greens, tomatoes, bacon, chicken, hard-boiled eggs, avocado, blue cheese, and a vinaigrette dressing. A chef salad, more generic salad made with more generic ingredients such as cucumbers, tomatoes, carrots, and meats such as ham, bacon, and cheddar cheese. So it's a Cobb salad if it's got fancier things like your blue cheeses.
Gotcha.
I'll be honest with you. Right now, I really want a freaking Cobb salad. That sounds fantastic.
The only thing I'd not be down with in that, well, tomatoes, because I don't like tomatoes, but is avocado.
Really?
I like guacamole. I like chips and guac. I like all that. When you start putting avocado on sandwiches and stuff, I'm grossed out.
Really?
It's a texture thing.
Have you ever had... Okay, now here's my millennial question. Have you ever had avocado toast?
Yeah.
Like, have you really, though? Have you?
I have. It's okay. It's a texture thing. I don't... Like, when you put, like, a burger with all the stuff, and then you put that messy avocado...
Now, I'll say this.
It grosses me out.
If it's mushed or mixed up, then I'm good with that. The only time it has a texture issue for me is when it's whole slices of avocado.
Yeah, either way, I'm not a fan.
When you bite into an avocado and you go, like, you feel yourself biting into it, but then it mushes, that to me is a texture almost too far.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that mixed in with food. Like burritos with it, or I don't care for it. I don't care for the texture. The taste does not add to the sandwich to me. It detracts.
Yeah.
So but if you give me guacamole or something like that, I'm down with it.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't say blue cheese, because that's most people's breaking point.
I've evolved on blue cheese. I used to not like it as a younger person, but more and more as an adult, I enjoy it on things.
I feel that ranch is almost overblown. Like ranch gets
blue cheese
too
is my
much
go-to
credit.
dip for wings.
Blue cheese is my go-to anything.
Yeah,
I
if
love
there's any
blue cheese.
wings, I'm blue cheese.
Like the bacon and blue burger, one of my favorites.
I could leave like blue cheese crumbles off a sandwich, but and I'll eat it. So It's 8 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, Mexico. We'll be back. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The voting goes on in New Hampshire. Correspondent Donald Warder says the first results from this year's leadoff primary came in very early this morning.
The 6 registered voters in Dixville Notch, New Hampshire cast their ballots at 12 a.m. And the 4 registered Republicans and 2 undeclared all voted for Nikki Haley. In some previous elections, a couple of other tiny New Hampshire towns also voted at 12 a.m. But this year, Dixville Notch went it alone.
And former President Trump at a rally in Laconia making light of the numerous legal obstacles that have been thrown in his path.
I've been indicted more than Al Capone.
Nikki Haley talking with the Salem Radio Network's Hugh Hewitt.
I have always said that I was going to support the Republican nominee because anybody is better than a President Kamala Harris. I stand by that, but I have every intention to win this race.
Democrats are also holding a primary. President Biden's name is not on the ballot, but many of New Hampshire's top Democrats are backing a write-in campaign that they say they expect Biden to handily win. The U.S. and Britain have carried out a series of airstrikes on Houthi rebel targets in Yemen.
The targets included missile systems, launchers, air defense systems, radars, and what were described as a deeply buried underground weapons storage site, which contained more advanced weapons.
The BBC's David Willis. A divided Supreme Court is allowing, at least for the time being, federal agents to keep cutting the razor wire installed by Texas along the southern border. It's aimed at securing the border against deadly drugs and a flood of illegal aliens. On Wall Street, the Dow down 71 points and NASDAQ is up 35 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Sweden's bid to join NATO could soon clear a crucial hurdle.
If the Turkish parliament gives its approval as expected, this will be a landmark vote for Sweden and for NATO, and a considerable victory for the Turkish leader. He demanded and got a crackdown by Sweden on groups on its soil, including Kurdish militants that Ankara regards as terrorists. President Erdogan also linked Sweden's accession with the U.S. selling Turkey new F-16 fighter jets to upgrade its aging fleet.
The BBC's Orla Guerin. Russian missiles have targeted Ukraine's 2 biggest cities, damaging apartment buildings, killing at least 6 people. The attacks come after Moscow shunned any deal to end the almost 2-year-long war that is backed by Kiev's Western allies, including the U.S. News and analysis. Townhall.com. It is one of the last things you would expect to see at the airport, and it's grabbing a lot of attention at Indianapolis International.
It's a courtside view of next month's NBA All-Star Game. The full-size replica court is turning a lot of heads, many travelers taking photos. Airport authorities have jumped on board in promoting the city's first NBA All-Star Game since 1985 by printing out the decal court. There is one catch. Basketballs are not provided, and, well, shooting is prohibited there anyway. But the airport will be adding more features as the All-Star Game nears February 18th. Jason Walker reporting.
Nearly 30,000 professors, librarians, coaches, and other workers in the California State University system have reached a tentative contract agreement and they're calling off a planned strike against the university system. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. The Deuce of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Hope your Tuesday's going amazingly well.
Just super. It's a super Tuesday.
Super
It
Tuesday.
really is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Might get a little rain.
Might just sprinkle a little bit.
There's what they're saying is a good chance of us getting rain, but not a lot of rain.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like it's probably going to rain. Probably not going to rain a lot. But a little foggy out there, so be careful if you're out and about, especially in the lower lying areas where the fog gets kind of collecting at its thickest.
Mm-hmm. I can feel myself falling.
I can see it.
Yeah, I can
Just
feel
saw you.
myself just slowly sliding down.
Yeah, I think that
This
chair's-
chair, it's got to slowly.
I think the hydraulics or whatever they use to.
It just looks like I'm taking the world's slowest elevator.
Yeah.
So bear with me.
He's been doing that, you know, the bit behind the couch where he's doing the escalator and then he's doing the elevator and then he's rowing the boat.
I don't have the knees for that bit. That's the thing.
And he's paddling the canoe.
Like that requires a lot of hip and thigh strength.
You know, over the weekend, my wife was in charge of the TV remote.
Wow.
And we ended up watching a marathon of Three's Company on like Sunday or one of them days.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was literally like 3 or 4 hours of the canoe. Because if you never watched the show, younger people, the Jack Tripper role, is you know, he does, it's all pratfalls, and John Ritter was very much of that style. And so you know, him falling out the hammock or him, you know, over the top, you know, Jim Carrey style.
Right. It's funny. Over the course of like 6 months, I was really getting into a rabbit hole of listening to the Scrubs podcast, Fake Doctors, Real Friends, with Zach Braff and Donald Faison.
Which he's got a new show, by the way.
Yeah. Which Blended, Blended Family or something
it's
like
called,
that.
It's got John Cryer.
And
I've watched a couple episodes.
It's pretty funny from what I've seen.
It's all right. It's all right. To be honest, it's a spin on 2.5 Men.
Yeah, a little bit.
It basically is a twist on 2.5. Instead of John Cryer glomming off his brother,
right? He's
He's now basically glomming off his ex-wife, who's now married to the owner of the Boston Celtics, which is Donald Faison. And so they all live together. The ex-husband, the current husband, and the wife / ex-wife, and the kids that are from the previous marriage,
right?
John Cryer's marriage. They all live in a house together.
Just a good old-fashioned blended family.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is that Zach Braff talked about in a lot of the show Scrubs that he really like borrowed the pratfall style of John Ritter. Like he like adopted that style. And if you watch a lot of the pratfalls that Zach Braff takes in Scrubs are very Jack Tripper-esque.
Right.
Where he adds in, they even on the show on Fake Doctors, Real Friends, talk about the that because they would like over the course of the seasons, that sound when Zach Braff would have a pratfall became like known as the textbook JD sound. So when other characters would pratfall like JD, they would do the
It's all inspired by John Ritter.
Because he added pratfall noises.
Well, go on the weekends to one of them channels, somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
They I don't know the number, but they'll show marathons of Three's Company, and then you can watch exactly what we're talking about. And
that's I'm sorry, that sounds awful. I can understand watching a few episodes of Three's Company.
Yeah.
But watching a 3 to 4 hour block of Three's Company with added in commercial breaks, because I know how they do the commercial breaks on regular TV, that sounds nightmarish. That's the whole cable television doing those marathons is the whole reason I stopped watching shows like Ridiculousness or doggone it, the Impractical Jokers, is because of those. It was just the marathons and the same commercials over and over again. I can't.
How do you think I know? It's peanut butter bacon time. Peanut butter bacon time.
If that's what they're doing,
they showed that commercial
ad
nauseum.
Shot. Which I've watched reviews and I've heard people say it's not that good. Honestly, you could get the same thing by going and getting a regular Sonic burger, slapping some peanut butter on it. And my personal favorite is if you're going to get a Sonic burger, hickory. Get it hickory style. It's the best barbecue sauce on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes their burgers from like a good solid like 7 up to like a 13.
Yeah. Peanut butter for me is like the avocado. It's a consistency thing.
I do like a peanut. See, that's the thing. That's a draw for me. I do like a peanut butter burger.
Yes, I'm not a fan.
But I feel like I'd be better served adding my own peanut butter to a bacon burger.
Yeah. Well, the commercial makes it look like it's almost a sauce, not butter.
But it's like $7.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I haven't
just
bought one.
the burger.
Like I'd be more apt to want the shake.
That's the thing
than the burger.
And this is kind of where I think Mike and I's age really like shows. I lean heavily into app culture.
Yeah.
If anybody, if there's like a place I'm gonna eat, like they got an app, right? Because like the Sonic app, it's incredibly handy.
Well, I have a foot in both worlds. I use the app at certain places. But like certain places, I just don't.
And he tried to explain it one time, but the amount of Subway that this man consumes without having access to the app, where you would save so much money. They got a BOGO deal right now. It's buy one get one half off.
Yeah,
just saying.
Well,
a lot of plugs for different apps here, but
you'll
yeah,
be proud of me.
Oh, you did it! I'm so proud of you. It's like sign in for the first time. Yeah.
No, I used it once. Already.
Okay. All right. I'm.
See, look. Hi, Mike. Welcome back.
You're coming around. Okay.
I got 489 points.
Nice. See, that's the thing. Even if you don't use the app at the time, you can open it and like say, "Hey, there's my code," and then order, regularly, and then you still get the points.
And there's two things, and I noticed with the Subway app as a downside, especially this time of year, the winter months. Subway busts out soup. During the winter months. It ain't in the app. If you want the soup, you got to be there.
That's true.
Soup.
That's true.
And so, and that is the one place where you pick everything you put on the sandwich. Like you're walking by and you're like, give me the lettuce, I miss some of that in the app. Because sometimes I just like looking at it like, that looks good. Throw some of that on there. You know what I mean? I do that.
Yeah. And that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
But at the very least, open up your app and get the
I have now. I've started to, but that was the one I really resisted on. And then there's other places I really, really want to use their app, but you can't hear.
That's true. That is there are certain ones that I still have on my phone that their locations.
I can think of
work.
3 right off the top of the head that make me mad that I want to been using that I can't hear. So.
Yeah, sometimes they can be frustrating.
Yeah.
You gotta like pick your spots.
Yep.
But
I'm not going to throw them out there. I was going to, but I changed my mind.
I'm not going to name shame. But no, it's one of those, if you plan it out accordingly, you can really go into a lunch session and save yourself some serious money.
Yeah.
Like there are days that I will go to one place and redeem a free soda, and then I'll go to another place, grab a free burger, and I've had an entire meal for completely free.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, you'll do that work, and that's where I'm a little different.
Right.
I'm not traveling all over town for getting three free things and all. If you would have hit me 20 years ago, yes, I have the energy to do that. Now, I just want to go home. Just give me the thing.
It's like it's like a little scavenger hunt, though, kind of. You're hunting them down. And anyways, my normal lunch activities out of town for a week, so I got to fill my time somehow.
Yeah. Idle hands.
Exactly. It's fun this way.
Well, good.
It's like a hunt for myself.
If you enjoy it, that's awesome. I don't enjoy it anymore. Unless the juice has to be really worth the squeeze for me to get on board with some of that. And, I think part of it's too a married thing. Just kind of, single people occupy their time different than non-single people.
That's true. Some of my evenings are consumed with, let's try sitting on this part of the couch. See how different this feels. And it is weird though, because if you sit in any spot in your living room other than your spot, and everybody knows where their spot is, you feel like a guest in your own house.
Absolutely.
It's the weirdest thing ever.
I do not sit in other spots in my living room. I can name on one hand the number of times I've sat in other spots.
Yeah, and most of those were putting on my shoes.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah. And to be honest, we have a couch that we bought 7 years ago that is only had collectively a dozen butts on.
Sorry, because you guys have your chairs.
Yeah. So,
and you got new ones now too.
We got two coming. They ain't not here yet.
Okay.
Yeah, give them a couple weeks. The fine folks at Glenn's Furniture, who I do all my furniture shopping with, we went and ordered.
You got the robo
chairs.
Recliners with the added. Does it have the vibration?
Well, no massage on this
magic
one.
fingers.
Well, our other recliners are remote recliners. They have a little thing that comes out and you can do it. These that we got are actually the buttons are built into the side of the chair on this one.
Okay.
But this one has an additional head tilt.
Nice.
So I can go back, and I don't like the rocker swivel.
Right.
I like mine stationary.
So you don't have to work your neck muscles at all.
So I can go all the way back and then lift the head up a little bit. It's like you can watch TV while laying down.
We're also getting a robot arm that will serve me sandwiches.
It'll completely move me and everything. I just need something to extract things out of me for the back.
Exactly. This is WALL-E. Like if you add into that chair the ability to move in around so you can go to the kitchen and get your cheesy poops.
Yeah.
This is WALL-E.
If that comes soon, I will be there.
Absolutely crazy.
I think it's called a wheelchair, by the way.
Right. That's true.
Motorized wheelchair hover around. There's any one of those. But yeah, this one has this tilt there, so I'm pretty excited about that.
That's one thing that I feel like I'm mad because I'm just young, just young enough to not have experienced is I never got to experience the quarter bed thing in hotels. Or motels where you put a quarter in and it does the magic fingers or whatever it's called.
I've seen it once or twice. The places I saw it in, you don't want to get
no, they're real seedy joints. I just never got to experience that. I wasn't curious.
Have you ever gone to a bar or a restaurant that's got the old
cigarette
school
machine?
towel? The old school towel machine?
Yes,
yeah.
That is that's whack.
God's awful sanitary option.
Right.
Is that
it was
towel?
white when it started.
Yeah.
It's not white no more.
Oh, yeah. I've been in those
That's
places.
the same place with them that still to this day have cigarette machines, but now it's filled with gum and candy.
Yeah. Well, and then the other machines.
Oh, yeah. Those machines also.
Yeah. But, it's been a long time, but I remember going into one of those places and I didn't know what to do with that thing. I'm like,
wait a second. Rings? Is that a tuna sandwich?
Yeah. I saw the thing. I was like, I'll just use my pants.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to be doing this.
Right. All right. It is 9:19. Probably should get the hour going
that
here.
That memory smelled like cigarettes. Sorry.
Smelled like 1978. I can smell that smell. I can smell that scene. I just can. I can smell it. Yes. It smells like the 70s. It smells like 1978 wet shag carpet. We're going to play our interview that Sean had a week or so ago with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society, get an update there. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be hitting about 50 to 55 on the afternoon high today, and we've got a pretty good chance of showers with that low pressure system working its way through our area. For tonight, maybe a few lingering showers. They'll be over with by about midnight, our low in the upper 30s. We'll start off Wednesday with clouds and maybe an early shower, and then clearing up a little bit in the afternoon, upper 50s to about 60. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 37 degrees, and a few clouds here in Roswell. Humidity is at 73%. Winds are calm at the moment. We are looking at a 40% chance at rain today. Mostly cloudy. Expect a high of 55 degrees. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a 50% chance at rain. Mainly after 8 is what they're saying. Patchy fog will be rolling in overnight as well. Mostly cloudy for the evening with an overnight low of 39 degrees. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. They're expecting less than 1/10 of an inch of rain tonight. So good chance of rain, just not a whole lot of it. Wednesday, we are looking at a 20% chance of rain early. Could see some patchy fog as well to about 9 a.m. But cloudy early, then gradually becoming sunny as the day progresses. High of 57 tomorrow, with winds out of the northwest at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 32 degrees. Southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Looking at the rest of the week, mostly sunny Thursday, 61 a high there. Friday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, high of 58 degrees. And then for the weekend, sunny and 56 for your Saturday, sunny and 58 for your Sunday. And we'll be in the low 60s to start next week, looks like. All right, 8:21, we're going to take a 3-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview with Crystal Noble that Sean had last week from the Humane Society. Don't go away.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate. The scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays. A stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes. And insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in. And in the summer, it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment, 575-755-7663, or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first. A dining set is the staple of family gatherings. It's where you spend holidays, where you help your kids with their homework. It's an entertainment setting for game nights or new recipes. Your dining room is a centerpiece of style and design. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. Here at Glenn's, we bring quality to the modern dining room. Our selection is extensive with clean lines and subtle curves, from traditional to contemporary with wood or stone tops. Stylize your dining room at Glenn's on Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
A snoring partner is more than a rough night's sleep for you. It could lead to some serious problems. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Snoring, stopping breathing, and gasping for air in the middle of the night aren't just a pain for you. It could be a sign of sleep apnea, which can result in a lot more problems for both of you. Luckily, we can help. With our revolutionary oral appliance, you and your partner can breathe easier and get a better night's sleep.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
Us in, and good morning, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, 19 minutes now, and joining us in studio this morning, in an official capacity now, from the Roswell Humane Society, Ms. Crystal Noble. How are you doing this morning?
Wonderful, if that wind wasn't blowing.
I know, it's already starting to get at it, and I don't think it's going to show any signs of stopping for the next couple of days, so good luck to you out there. It's, you know, honestly, it wouldn't be so bad if the wind itself wasn't so just like biting. Like, it just takes your breath away.
Yeah, it's like, it feels like there's an iceberg right outside of Roswell and it's blowing right off.
Right, exactly. It's polar wind that we're dealing with. But how's your 2024 been so far?
Not bad. Some not cool things with animals, but hopefully we can get people to stop being jerks.
You know, that's, you hope for the best, but honestly, it's probably not going to happen. I did hear some things that went down recently, and it's kind of just a real bummer. People are terrible. It was left a dog in the cage, I guess, outside of the
Champ.
Yeah, Champ. Yeah. That's just, I mean, that's awful. Obviously, you know, that's a horrific event. You hope that it's, you know, once in a lifetime thing, but honestly, we know it's.
We have people that leave animals in crates outside our door all the time. The majority of the time, they do it before we get there, so that way when we get there, we see them.
Right.
But it's not often we have somebody leave an animal half dead outside our door while we're open and not even try to come in and say, hey, you know, even if you just found the dog and you're trying to help it.
Right.
You know, come in, let us know, because we don't have a window. Mm-hmm. It's all metal. I can't look out there and see, oh, somebody left something outside the door.
Right.
So if somebody wouldn't have told us, you know, hey, somebody left a crate outside the door, you know, until we had to go outside for something, we wouldn't have found them.
That is awful. I just, doggone it. So obviously that you know, problem notwithstanding, it's a new year for the Humane Society, and what do we hope to achieve in 2024 with the Humane Society?
Well, we are officially started for our new roof.
Okay.
So hopefully by the end of the month, weather permitting, they will get started on that. So if anybody wants to donate monetary donations towards the cost of it, because it is quite expensive.
Absolutely. Especially for the size of your facility.
Yeah, and it's because the thrift shop and our facility is all in one. Mm-hmm. So they're doing the thrift shop and ours all together because it's one building.
Right.
So it is well over $100,000. So if anybody would kindly help us with that, we would greatly appreciate it, or go shop at the thrift store.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, is because while these funds are being diverged from the Humane Society, there's still need under the roof.
Right.
There's still, you know, there's still things happening. You guys are still functioning as a Humane Society. So please, any and all donations, absolutely appreciated. Even down to, you know, dog food, cat food, litter, things that are needed in the shelter, those are absolutely appreciated. Any money they don't have to spend on, you know, feeding the animals, keeping them safe and healthy, that can go towards repairs that are absolutely needed for the facility, and you know, long overdue as well.
Yeah, the roof has been long overdue, and it's our air conditioning units sit up on top of the roof, so when they're bowing in, because the metal's getting weaker. But we built that building in the early 80s, and that's the original roof it came with.
Wow.
And then in 2008, we had a repair done on it where they put a foam underneath it, which didn't work out like they said it was going to. So basically, the foam is just covering the rusted metal.
Oh, you know, they just band-aided over the problem.
Pretty much.
So thanks, other guys. But we're going with a trusted source, somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yes.
A decent group of people. So this time the job will be done, and it'll be done right, but it will be done for very expensively.
Yeah, unfortunately. So any and all donations towards the roof would be greatly appreciated. That would just help us to where we're able to continue to focus on the care of the animals inside the shelter.
Now, are there any any fundraisers in the works to maybe help beleaguer some of these costs? Anything planned? Ideas in the fire?
So far, no, not yet. Just because we had to make a really quick decision. Because as we get into spring, we have to be on the roof maintaining the air conditioners. And so in order to have it safe for the employees that go up there and maintain the air conditioners, we had to get it done and where it can set and rest and be comfortable.
Be normal in time for, and as we all know, warm expands things too. So obviously, things are going to, bow and expand and contract, as it gets warmer out. So that's also becomes an issue. You want to make sure that everything's settled and ready for summertime, because if winter's been as mild as it's been,
we're gonna have one hot summer.
Exactly. I'm not looking forward to it.
No.
Rhiannon's constantly whining about how cold it is. I'm like, remember that in July.
And it's funny because John and I were talking the other day, and I told him, I was like, we're not having a winter. We're having a funky spring fall. And our summer, we're gonna die. Like, it's just going to be astronomically hot and dry.
Power bills are through the roof. It's it's something that we all deal with, and obviously with you guys with the facility, I'm sure that power bill is not insignificant.
No, because we have swamp coolers for the thrift store, and then for the back where the dogs are, our water bill goes up to like $1,400 to run the swamp coolers, and then us do our daily cleaning, and then the electric bills anywhere between $700 and $800 a month.
That is rough. Any talk or ideas of grants or getting somebody to
we do have two people that are on our board that focus on grants, and they've been applying and trying to do everything that they can to help us get grants. Unfortunately, with us being so small, a lot of the places that give grants look for like populations of like 250, 300,000, where we're not even 100,000. And we can't include Artesia. We can include Lake Arthur, Hager, Dexterman, the little areas, but it's not enough to give us the population we need for some of the better grants.
See, and that's a bummer. It's literally a problem that we can't do anything about. It has no answer on that one. So that's not a source of money. So obviously donations are paramount right now, making sure that we can keep the doors open, keep the animals fed and safe, and obviously that is the top priority. But making sure that the roof is fixed is definitely a vital thing.
Yeah, we don't want any part of the roof caving in on anybody.
Oh, exactly. So under the roof, how are things with the felines and the canines?
We are full house.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have a transport this past Monday, but because of weather, I had to cancel that transport because the roads were closed and I wouldn't have been able to get through.
Yeah.
So I have every single dog kennel full.
My dad used to have a theory about why it never rains or snows in Roswell, and his theory was that because of all the dairies in Roswell and because of all the methane created by the cows, that we have a methane bubble over Roswell that just blankets us away from any and all storms.
Well, it's funny because my aunt has a similar version, but she calls it the alien dome.
Oh, but it just works its way around us because pretty much most of New Mexico and actually like 2/3 of the country were blanketed in snow earlier this week and late last week. So, but we were blue skies and sunshine. Go figure, nicest weather we've had in weeks. But we digress. So full house. Obviously, so when are we able to make that transport?
It was rescheduled for the 29th.
Okay.
So weather permitting again, because down here we don't get crap, but up there they do.
Right.
So as long as the weather's good and no road closures ahead, I'll be doing another reschedule this transport for the 29th.
Okay.
But complete full house. Like I said, I have no open kennels whatsoever.
So obviously, please, if you have room in your life, or if you are making the decision to adopt, time is the time is right.
It is. Start off the new year with the new dog or cat.
My mind goes to all the car commercials that I cut. Selection is at its best. Come in and make an offer. No reasonable offer will be refused.
We have probably 2 dogs, maybe 3 that have been there almost a year.
Sorry, I'm only laughing because our show is not interesting enough for him to even watch it. I digress. Anyways.
Yeah, you can see back there.
So as you were saying, sorry.
There's I think 3. One will be February, one's March, and one's April that they'll be hitting their 1-year mark there at the shelter. So really need to focus on getting them a home, getting them out of the shelter, because the longer anybody stays confined, humans or animals, they start to revert to a different state.
It's institutionalization. It happens to humans. It's bound to happen to animals. You revert to the mindset of what's going to keep you the safest in the environment that you find yourself in.
Right.
So you become a kennel dog essentially, and that's no fun. So breed wise, big dog, small dog, some as big as your head.
We have it all. So he's not quite ready for adoption yet, but his name is Einstein.
Okay.
And big name for a dog that is about that big.
Oh.
He is maybe a full pound.
Oh. Dang it, that's adorable. Puppy, I'm assuming?
He's a puppy.
What's the breed?
Chihuahua.
Oh, so he's going to stay that way.
Yeah, and it's funny because his siblings are like 4 of these, and he is so tiny. It's cute.
I will say this, that the small dogs, and I'm guessing it's because the blood doesn't have to move as far around the body to make it, they live forever.
Yeah, 25, 30 years.
My kid's Aunt Betsy has a dog named Saki. This dog, she's had this dog for, I swear, going on like 25 years or so. And I don't know,
And his ears stand up now.
That's a tough sell right there. I can't. My cat will kill me. And he knows where I sleep, so I can't. I've been very close to adopting. There was one time, I believe this was over the summer during the farmers market. They had the dogs out on the street, which we've talked about the issues with that whole thing. But there was a dog that was there. I saw this dog and almost started crying. I was with my friend Misty. I said, Misty, we need to go. We need to leave right now because I'm going to adopt that dog if we do not leave right now. That was tough. When presented with cuteness, my guard tends to go way down. But yeah, so obviously, big dogs, small dogs, something for everybody. If you live in an apartment, if you're
small,
looking for
medium, large,
something that
the biggest dog we have right now is probably going to be Queenie, Luther, and Canalita.
Okay.
Queenie is a boxer pit mix. She's brindle, beautiful, sweet, housebroken, loves people, loves to love. Luther, probably boxer pit mix. He's brindle and white. He's goofy as all could be. He just doesn't like cats very well. And then Canalita is a healer mix, and she's probably like the size of a small German Shepherd, but looks like a healer.
Healer's become a lot more popular in this region, especially over the last few years. I've really seen a lot more healers popping up.
They're great cattle
specifically
dogs.
Red healers.
Yeah, and those are the ones that aren't very common, but they're becoming a lot more common here.
Yeah.
They're wonderful cattle dogs.
I blame Bluey. I'm just gonna leave that leave it right there.
And but they're active. They have to have a job.
Yep.
They're not, let's sit in the yard dog. No.
Right.
They need a job. They need something to do, something to occupy their brain, because if not, they're going to lose their crap.
So if you're somebody who has maybe a ranch, a lot of land, looking for some, maybe a cattle dog, something along those lines, definite choice there.
She would be great.
Absolutely. How are things over in the feline world?
We have a ton of black cats.
Really?
Yes, we still have cats from right before Halloween because we don't do any black cat adoptions for the month of Halloween.
Or white.
Or white.
Right.
So I have 4 black cats. we have Quill and Gable. They're siblings, and they're going on 17 or 18 weeks now.
Okay.
And then we have BB, which stands for Black Beauty.
Nice.
She's going on 2 years now. 2 years old, not at the shelter for 2 years.
Right.
And then we have a new one. His name is Winston, and he's actually a Bombay. So people don't know the difference between a Bombay and a regular domestic short hair cat. So a domestic short hair cat is going to be all black and have like just normal cat color eyes. A Bombay is all black and their eyes are amber.
Oh, okay.
Or gold.
Okay.
And their body structure is slightly different and their facial structure is different.
I recently, it's similar thing. I only recently figured out that my cat's breed is Burmese, not Siamese. It was mostly just because of the color of the body is lighter and the color of the eyes. It said, okay, he's a Burmese, not a Siamese. So yeah, there's those tiny little differences in cat breeds. They really do make a difference.
Winston is acclimating into the shelter. Not too fond of it all right now, so a little bit of time and let him calm down and see that everybody in the shelter's not so mean.
Which that's going to take some time, obviously. New environment, you got to kind of feel things out.
When they first come into the shelter, obviously, we vaccinate them and get them set, so everybody hates me for a little while after.
It's kind of like, delousing at the jail cell.
They're like...
looks down on the warden.
So they come in, I give them vaccinations, deworming, whatever they need, and he's just like, don't you come near me. Last time I let you touch me, you stabbed me.
It's really funny. I've sort of noticed over the years going with my kids to the doctor, but I've picked up on this. Doctors very rarely are the ones that deliver the shots.
No, it's
They'll
always
come
the
in and
nurses.
do the checkup, and then the nurse comes in and administers the vaccination.
Yes.
Because you don't want your kids to hate their doctor.
No.
And they're going to associate that needle with that doctor. So that's kind of a baller move. You need a assistant that'll just come in and do all the dirty work. That's what we need.
I have other people trained to do it, but the majority of the time it's just easier. I'm right
just
there.
So you can come in and play good cop, and like every time they give a shot, you smack them on the arm and give them cuddles. Give the animal cuddles.
Well, I always give them a kiss right after I tell them I'm sorry.
Oh, that's horrible, because now they're associating love with pain.
Some people like pain and love.
That's true. I'm just saying, you're making little,
Well, I tell them I'm sorry.
masochist.
I'm not trying to hurt them. I tell them it's for your health.
That's right. Well,
I'm always nice about it. I'm not like, rah.
And in fairness, a little poke on the side's probably a lot better off than what they were dealing with on the streets.
Yes.
Or out in the world. So,
yeah, our world is a cruel, cruel world for these guys.
It's really sad, and that's honestly why I just don't watch I just stopped watching the news. Like we were talking about social earlier, I don't subscribe anywhere on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. I get my stuff usually from YouTube videos,
It's weird because we normally don't watch the news, and then every now and then, if I'm looking for weather or whatever, we'll watch the 10 o'clock news. And it takes them forever to get to the weather, so you have to watch all the other stuff in between. And I'm like, oh my God, this is why I don't watch the news, because I don't need to know this.
I don't have regular TV.
No, we have an antenna.
Oh, okay. I don't have the energy to put one of those up. I'm sure I could do it, but I just haven't bothered. I have a bunch of different streamers, and I use with the Pluto.
Okay.
I use Pluto a lot, but there's nothing live on Pluto.
Yeah, we just have an antenna, to get the local channels, and then we stream everything else.
So we can watch our Jeopardies and whatnot. So I like it. So obviously a packed house.
Yes.
What beyond donations for the roof? What are some needs that you guys are finding right now as far as for the shelter itself?
Right now, we just had quite a bit of food and litter donations come in from the Christmas season. Awesome. We can always use cat litter. We can always use bleach, Dawn, Pine Sol, Clorox wipes.
And you guys, as far as litter goes, you guys don't do the clumping?
No, we just do the cheap clay cat litter. And actually, Sam's Club now carries a 52-pound bag, but and it's cheap.
Right.
It's not expensive.
The one that I use, because I just dump it all out. Also, is the special kitty at Walmart, because it's you get a jug of it for $7.
Yeah.
So.
Instead of spending $35-$40 on the scented stuff, we have baking soda that we add into it to help neutralize odors and whatnot. So Just cheap plain cat litter is always the best way to go.
Definitely a need there at the shelter. So if you can help out through litter donations, through monetary donations, absolutely, that would be most appreciated. And stop by the Humane Society. Take a tour around, walk around, and visit some of the pups and the kitties. They could be your forever friend.
You might not be looking for one, and one might grab your heart, and that be that.
That's right. How are we on volunteers?
We actually have a couple of volunteers that have been pretty steady, coming a couple of times a week. One helps us do cleaning, and then one is doing walking.
Okay.
The weather hasn't been bad, but it also hasn't been like great walking weather.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally the majority of the time their schedule is like first thing in the morning because they have jobs, so they're trying to work around their jobs, and it's been a little too cold in the mornings.
That's a rough sell.
Yeah. But it's this time of the year, it's normal because, everybody's either getting ready to go back to work from Christmas break or they're going back to wherever.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple of people that they travel down here for the holidays to see family, and they come in and they hang out with us.
Right.
So we have our seasonal volunteers that don't live here.
Which is always nice.
It is.
They're here just long enough for you to not get sick of them.
Yeah.
Some people overstay their welcome. I tend to do that myself. Actually, this year for Christmas, I specifically told my sister, I'm like, I'm not going to do what everybody thinks I'm going to do and hang out way past my welcome. I'm going to hang out until Wednesday. We end up staying until Thursday. But, just get as much family time as we can get in without my kids and me just annoying the bejeepers out of everybody. It felt right. It was the prime amount of time.
Nice.
And just enough time for one fight in the front yard. Just enough.
One fight in the front
Just
yard.
one fight in the front yard. Mm-hmm.
With you and your sister?
I know, it was actually my brother.
That's always fun.
And the rest of the family. Yeah.
Details after radio goes off.
Absolutely. We're not talking about that here. They can listen. So getting back to the Humane Society. We talked about volunteers. Where are we on as far as you were hiring recently? How's that process been going?
She's working out so far.
Okay.
Roswell doesn't have a lot of candidates that really applied, which surprised me. I thought I'd have a lot of people applying, and I really only had like 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I have somebody. She's learning. She's young and willing to learn, and that's the best part. Open-minded, willing to learn, and learns pretty quickly.
We just remind you that the views that you express on Mornings with Mike Winters do reflect those of after you get off. It was a long pause, but it's a new thing. It's everybody's feeling the situation.
It's
out.
So weird
She's
because
learning.
we get into our routines and somebody new, learning about them learning about us. I'm just so used to the way things were, and then I'm like, God, this is something new. I have to do something new, and I'm like, I'm kind of like a cat in that manner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like new things.
Right.
But then new things aren't always bad.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But it's a feeling out process.
Yes. Yeah, that's a nice way to say it. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And the good news is once things are felt out, once she learns, then it'll be a lot more off your shoulders.
Yes, and learning as time goes by, you get more experience with things. So therefore, it's less of me having to remember that, oh yeah, she's new, she doesn't know this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I tend to do that too when I'm training, because I've entered that phase in my life where I'm now teaching the craft to the generation that comes after me, because hopefully there will still be an interest in this business in 10 years. But in that process, I'm like, oh yeah, you don't know how to mix down multi-tracks, huh? Okay, let's step back. I forgot to show you this part. I don't tend to explain in step processes. I tend to be like, did you see what I did there? That doesn't necessarily work so well.
Yeah.
You also have to learn someone's learning style. Personally speaking, I learned this early in life, thankfully. I am an audio learner. I learn things by hearing them. If I hear them 60 times, I will know it. That's actually when I was in, I want to say kindergarten or first grade, they made us memorize the preamble to the Constitution. And I recorded myself on tape saying it and listened to that back 100 times, so that to this day I still know what it is.
And that's funny. You started at radio. with the radio in kindergarten.
Oh,
ironic.
At age 7. So this is a story I've told a couple of times. When I was a 7-year-old, I inherited, because I got all my sister's hand-me-downs. It was an Emerson 2-speaker boombox, dual cassette. But the really, really cool thing about this boombox was there was a microphone built into the speaker. So I started making not just like fake radio tapes. I, in my head, had my own radio station. I called it Shoop 105. I would go on the radio and steal their songs, and I would like time it and do sweepers in between. I would produce my own commercials. At one point, I did a book review of something. And when I was a kid, I wish I still had these tapes. I sounded like Opie from the Andy Griffith Show. I was like, "Do you like books? Well, then I know you like blueberries for Sal." It was.
Oh.
Yeah. I had to drop the regional accent when I moved to New Mexico. But yeah, this was a thing I wanted to do since I was 7. That's
nice.
I've kind of had that in me for a while.
Nice.
But yeah, so I want to encourage the next generation. So I've kind of started that teaching role, but I'm not a good teacher. I'm a great learner. I'm not a great teacher.
And it's weird because, I'm normally very good at teaching as long as I understand their, means of learning.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the first questions I ask is, are you a hands-on learner? Are you a visual learner?
Mm-hmm.
Do you need it written out? Do you like to read it? You tell me what helps you. So therefore, I can accommodate how to help you.
Mm-hmm. Help me help you.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes.
So, okay, so good. Spots have been filled. And obviously, though, if, keep taking resumes. If, you have a passion for animals, it's something you've wanted to do for a while. If you have experience, maybe drop a resume off and see what happens in the future.
Yeah.
You never know what could happen.
For the thrift shop.
Yes, let's move on over to the store.
Since it is Arctic wind outside,
Mm-hmm.
they have a lot of comforters. So if you
great.
need some new bedding for your house and you want to change up a little bit, they've got it in all sizes.
I run into the unique problem of having a California king.
So do you know the only difference between a California king and a regular king?
I thought it was the length.
It is so it is 2 inches longer. That's all it is.
Really?
Yeah. I have a California king.
Okay.
Yeah.
So king size stuff technically fits.
Yeah.
Okay. Just not as deeply. That's good to know because I was gifted a sheet set over the Christmas break that was just a king.
Yeah. So it will fit.
Awesome. Cool.
They have a refrigerator. They have it for $250. It's just a regular upright. The door handle is missing on it. They did clean it exceptionally well. The inside looks brand new. The outside's a little dented and dinged up, but it works great.
And honestly, who needs a handle on your refrigerator? Most of the time, you're just walking up and doing that thing where you put your thumb on the freezer door and you pivot the side.
I have a side-by-side, so I have to use the handle.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
And honestly, with today's side-by-sides, that's like unlocking a vacuum handle.
It's not that new of a side-by-side.
They suction shut. Well, I had a friend who had like one of those brand new ones.
Yeah, I want one. I want the Samsung Smart Fridge that you tap, and it opens up so you don't have to open the door to look in. And then I want it to be like where I can look on my phone and see the camera and be like, oh, I'm out of milk. I'm at the grocery store.
I'm sorry. That's Alexa clean my butt levels of laziness, okay?
But I like it. I don't want
fun this way.
I don't want some automated thing cleaning my butt. I want automated thing telling me what I don't got in the fridge.
That's right.
That's more important to me.
You're absolutely right. So not the smartest fridge available, but definitely a refrigerator.
It is, and it works really good. They have it plugged in and running, so that way if you want to go check it out, make sure you feel that it's cold enough for whatever you want. It's there. They have a crib to bed.
Oh, okay.
Very nice wood frame, beautiful. 2 32-inch flat screen TVs. They have checked them out. They do work. They have a royalty tea set, and I'm probably not saying it for whatever it's correctly labeled.
Okay.
But like when you watch like the British TV shows and they're having tea, and they have like the tea plates, the teacups, and then they have
the fancy the metal or the
tea pitchers. Well, these are all ceramic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're hand painted.
So it's a classic tea service.
Yeah. Okay. So they have the entire set marked for $200.
Wow.
And it's a big set. So you've got 2 tea pitchers, and then you've got like your cream pitcher, your sugar, like everything to have like a gigantic tea party.
That's
or
awesome.
coffee party.
So, but we live in the world of cosplaying. So, think about it. Those cosplayers out there that want to have the the true British experience.
Right.
So grab yourself that tea service set. Get yourself a few fancy biscuits.
Yeah.
And maybe a nice pudding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have 2 fish tanks.
Okay.
They have a hide-a-bed couch.
Awesome. Always handy if you have family coming in.
Ironically, this caught my eye, and I don't know why, because I do not drink wine, but they have a 5-piece wine accessory set.
Really?
So everything you need to open a bottle of wine.
Okay.
And then some.
Nice. Does it come with teeth stained disapproving mother?
No.
Oh, okay. So you have to provide your own. That will not be a problem.
Nope.
Just for the record, that won't be a problem in my family.
Nope.
I can provide that.
They have a lot of arts and crafts stuff. Brushes, like the paint brushes, anything like from yarn to from like crocheting needles. Like they have a cute, decent sized arts and crafts section. Awesome. They have a ton of puzzles. So if anybody is a puzzle person, they have about 50 boxes of 1,000 piece puzzles and smaller.
Question.
What?
Have these been checked?
They are still sealed.
Okay, that answers that question. Because there is nothing on the planet
the
more
puzzle
frustrating
together and missing a piece.
Buying a puzzle from a thrift store or from like the Salvation Army or Goodwill and getting it almost all the way done and you're missing 3 pieces.
So yeah, the majority of these ones are sealed, like never open. And the ones that are open, I do believe that they do go through and check them.
Okay. I just picture you guys have like a master puzzle builder in the back. You guys could have another kennel worker.
Do you know what's easier? Instead of trying to put it together, just count the pieces. Box says 500, count 500.
Yeah, but that's tedious.
I would rather count than try to put the puzzle together.
No, you're absolutely right on that one.
Blankets galore. So regular comforters for beds and then blankets. So some of the blankets they have would be good, like if you need like blankets for your dogs, like to put in the kennel with them or something, so they have something to lay on.
Sure.
That's what those would be good for. A lot of Roswell high school t-shirts, where you got to pay $25, $30 for them brand new. They got like 4 boxes of them.
Really?
So she's got them marked for $5 a shirt. So that way, it saves people money on buying their kids sport or school memorabilia, and they're still getting to rock the school colors.
Absolutely. And remember, it's beyond saving yourself money, because every time you spend money at the Humane Society, you're helping keep their doors open.
Yes, very much.
Absolutely. So obviously, lots of stuff happening at the Humane Society, full house. So, no more at this point, but let's clear the house so we can let's clear the lot so we can make room for the new arrivals. Again,
right.
It always bleeds in. Give us the hours.
Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 12 and 1 to 4:30 for the kennels. And then the thrift store is Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 4:30.
Excellent. And if folks want more information, if they want to
they can call the kennels, 622-8950. If they want to make a donation to the thrift store or need stuff picked up, they can call and talk to Camille, or I think Manny does scheduling too. It's 623-9210. We have our website, roswellhumane.org.
And you guys post pictures of the adorable adoptables.
Yeah,
as well.
So everything that is in our shelter is on our website.
Awesome.
If it says not available, that means it is in quarantine for either vaccinations, weight, or we're making sure it doesn't have parvo, distemper, kennel cough, anything like that. And especially with that new respiratory illness coming around, we're keeping a little closer eye.
Oh, is there something coming around? I'm so tired of sickness.
I agree. It's this new dog respiratory that started off way back east, and it has ventured to New Mexico. We have luckily not had any here in Chavez County. Right. But it does not respond to antibiotics. It does not respond to normal treatment that you would typically treat somebody or an animal with a respiratory illness. So it's very, very bad.
That's rough.
It is. So, and the vaccinations that we give for animals to help keep them from getting respiratory infections, this isn't covered in it because it's a completely new development. So they don't even know completely how to treat it quite yet, let alone build a vaccination for it.
It's if you think back to the COVID age, when you watched something spread, how quickly a disease can spread from a couple of cases in a state to now this is a nationwide pandemic.
Right.
So just bear that in mind. What can we do have to wrap soon? But what are some things that people can do meantime to help keep their dog safe?
Make sure you get them the border televaccinations from your vet. Don't take them to strange places with dogs that you are unfamiliar with. Like if you don't know if they're vaccinated for everything they need to be, don't take your dogs around them. If you're at the dog park, obviously we would love for people to be honest and say, yes, these are my dog's vaccinations, but can't guarantee that they have them. So I'd steer clear from the dog parks for a while and just, take them to the park and walk them, exercise them that way, but keep them away from other dogs that you're not 100% sure of their vaccinations.
6 feet apart.
I'd go like 40.
If you will.
But that's me.
There you go. So again, folks want more information, give the Humane Society a call. Check out the website. All the need-to-know info is up there, including pictures, and you'll fall in love before you even darken the door.
And he was already in love with Einstein, and he only saw a photo.
It was just one photo, doggone it. That little fell on my lap. Well, Ms. Crystal, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate having you here.
Victory in last week's Iowa caucuses. The former president leads Nikki Haley in New Hampshire polls by double digits. Trump's hoping to knock Haley out of the race, while the former ambassador and governor is seeking an upset victory. It's a two-person contest in the Republican primary following the recent departures by Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy.
Mr. Trump rallying supporters in Laconia, referring to Republican challenger Haley and President Biden.
We started off with 13, and now we're down to 2 people. And I think one person will be gone probably tomorrow. And the other one will be gone in November.
Haley insists that she's in it to win it, telling the Salem radio network's Hugh Hewitt that her campaign coffers runneth over.
Every state, I am always making sure we have enough money for the next state, not for the one we're in, for the next one.
Saying she remains committed to supporting the party's nominee, quickly adding that she expects to be that nominee. President Biden now saying that the southern border is not secure, putting him at odds with his Homeland Security Secretary. Biden is pressing Republicans for more money for the border, but it's money that critics say would be used to process more illegal aliens into the country. More than 9.5 million have been allowed in so far under President Biden. For now, the razor wire installed by Texas along the southern border will continue to be cut by border agents. A divided Supreme Court allowing that practice to continue while a legal challenge proceeds. On Wall Street, the Dow down 137 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The new FedNow system is paving the way for the digital dollar.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Terrorists have carried out the deadliest single attack on Israel's forces since the Hamas raid that triggered the war. At least 21 soldiers were killed.
These were 21 reservists who were in a location quite close to the Israeli border, near to the Israeli kibbutz of Kisufim, which was one of those locations attacked on the 7th of October. The Israeli military says that they were on a mission to try to make things safe enough for Israeli residents to go back to their homes in the south. They were in two-story buildings when it seems that missiles were fired at a tank nearby, and because the two buildings themselves had explosives inside, it looks like the plan by the Israeli military was to demolish them. Then those two buildings themselves collapsed.
The BBC's Yolanda Nell. A 7.1 magnitude earthquake has struck a sparsely populated part of China's western Xinjiang region. At least 6 people injured. News and analysis, townhall.com. A Kansas couple accused of collecting more than $200,000 in retirement benefits on behalf of a deceased relative.
Police say Lynn and Kirk Ritter allegedly concealed the body in their home for 6 years. Authorities say Mike Carroll's pacemaker showed that he died in 2016 at the age of 81. But Overland Park police didn't discover his body until 2022. That's when Kirk Ritter called police to finally report the death. Prosecutors say the Ritters continued depositing and spending from Carroll's bank account even while his body became mummified on a bed. Jason Walker reporting.
Flash floodwaters swamped homes, overturned cars in Southern California yesterday as torrential rain swept the region. Over a 3-hour span, 3 inches of rain fell near San Diego. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Still a bit foggy, still a bit dreary.
The fog lingereth.
Indeed.
Supposed to be cloudy most of the day with rain chance.
Now the street lights out.
Oh, it finally turned off.
Finally went out.
Not enough light out there to
just enough
turn off the sensor or whatever.
Brandon's like, I wish the sun would come out. I'm like, the sun is out. It's just behind this big, thick blanket of cloud.
Yeah.
It's out there.
We get plenty of sun.
Right.
One of these days won't hurt you.
That's right. Just let's be London for a day.
It's actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
I like that time of day. Now, if it was raining all day, I'd still like that, but it would be a bummer after a while. But because we get these days so
infrequently.
It
almost never happens. Yeah.
It's kind of a nice change
of pace. It's a good day for some introspection.
There you go.
A nice hot tea, a cup of soup, and a cat by your lap while you maybe journal or read a nice book.
Yes. And pontificate like quandaries.
There you go.
But happy Tuesday, regardless if you like it sunny.
Let me just start on one. Why do we drive on parkways and park on driveways?
Tell him Stephen Wright.
Some of those are great.
What another one that I liked was what would chairs look like if our knees bent the other way?
It really makes you think. The one that always sticks out in my head is, I bought a new house. It's really nice, but it's on a median strip of a highway. The only problem is when you go back out of your driveway, you have to be going 65 miles an hour. It always made me chuckle.
Is he still alive?
I think so. No. Now that I say that, I feel like maybe he's not.
He's passed.
Oh, this is our first is-was game of 2024.
2024. Stephen Wright.
Right, Stephen Wright.
I feel like we looked this up.
Well, I know that. Hang on, right? HHC. I know that Stephen Wright he's still around. Yeah,
awesome.
68 years young. Still going. Mitch Hedberg is the one who's no longer, sadly,
I knew Mitch. We lost Mitch many, many moons ago.
Oh, he's the other short form joke teller.
He's a good comic.
He was a fantastic comic.
He was. I think he suffers from the James Dean or
Live fast,
Kurt
die
Cobain.
young, leave a pretty corpse.
I don't think we would look at him with the same reverence had we had a full career or full life of him.
I don't know. I feel like he had at least a couple more albums in him.
I think so, but I don't think we'd look at him like he was like some, the best of the best. I think he's just a guy.
I used to do a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
But that was way back there.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I like it, but and I'm, even to this day, a Mitch Hedberg thing comes up on the radio or whatever, I'll listen. But yeah, I think he'd be just a guy had he still be with us.
I saw this wino. He was eating grapes. I was like, dude, you gotta wait. Oh, so good. Such creative.
He had cancer, right?
I think it was. Yeah, I want to say
some kind of cancer that got him. I think, if I remember right.
Yeah.
He was one of the few comics that didn't. Because let's just face it, when you hear comics of that age, it's either drugs, alcohol, or suicide, and it was none of the above for him. It was cancer.
Right.
Although,
pretty sure
he kind of had some.
Oh, he definitely had demons.
I mean, he had some demons.
He was into quite a few. Like he made references to the fact that he was big into drugs.
I think
and if you look at him, I mean, he was obviously he had that look.
And quite frankly, every stand-up comic that is like making a living from this and are like famous are soup sandwiches up there, man. They're all messed up. They all what makes them funny is probably what they've dealt with in their lives that make them complete nightmares as friends, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah. His death was initially believed to be the result of a congenital heart defect, but in December of 2005, the Jersey Medical Examiner's Office reported he died accidentally as a result of multiple drug toxicity, including cocaine and heroin.
Okay, so it wasn't. I thought it was cancer or something. Yeah. Got him. So.
No, it was a heart attack, but the heart attack was basically brought on by,
copious amounts of drugs.
Speedballing, essentially.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. Don't do
on
drugs.
that fun note, but it is kind of like the comedian's curse, of live hard, die young.
Yeah, it's kind of
better to burn out than fade away.
Yeah, it's a different breed of people. Yeah, it's kind of, and for most of them, I won't say most of them. For some of them, you're just watching their mental health deteriorate in front of your eyes. Their stand-up is their catharsis, and that's probably the one moment in the world where they feel normal. And then when they get off that stage again, then it's back to the demons.
Well, it's the the old tears of a clown thing.
Yeah.
You when you put a smile on your face in public, it's hard to be who you are in the background. To have a life.
Apparently, frontmen of bands are the same issue. I guess because I don't know. I guess it's just because what they make the most money off of is
sadness.
Well, it's their inner them, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of us earn a living, by just you go into the salt mine, do your thing, go home.
Right. Get to leave work at work.
Your living is now your life. And it's different when you have no place to go home to separate yourself from that. When your whole life is telling people about your life, you know what I mean? It's kind of different.
Yep.
So some people can handle it. Some people,
Tears of a troubadour. On that note.
Right. Happy Wednesday,
that's right. Tuesday.
Our guest here?
Yeah, she is.
Very good. Real quick, I do want to mention before we get in our guest and everything. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, today being Tuesday, as Sean correctly put it out. Wednesday night, tomorrow night, Dion's Pizza on South Main will be doing one of their community benefit nights. And what they do is during a certain window, the public comes in and, gets dinner, orders food. And a portion of the sales from that night, that window, will go back to various community organizations. Well, tomorrow night, they're going to be helping out the Roswell Lady Coyote basketball team.
Yes.
And so if you go to Dion's Pizza between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., order you some dinner, maybe a delicious sandwich or pizza or one of those huge salads that are very good, but bring a friend because they're big salads. And if you buy those between 5 and 8, a portion of your proceeds will go back to the Lady Coyote basketball team. You can order in store, walk in, buy you a sandwich, sit down and eat, or you can go online and order or call in and pick it up. No matter how you do it, you're supporting Lady Coyotes tomorrow night.
Right.
So again, tomorrow night from 5 to 8 p.m., Dion's is my suggested dinner fairings.
I believe delivery also via DoorDash.
I believe you can do that through the dash.
Either way, as long as money goes into the coffers at Dion's, portion of that money is going to go into the coffers for the Lady Coyotes.
Yeah, so that's tomorrow night, 5 to 8 p.m.
Yes, sir.
At Dion's Pizza, salad and subs.
Oh, you know what's fun is Tomorrow's Wednesday, so it's wrestling night. Rena usually knows that it's pizza night, so.
2 birds.
Yeah, there you go.
Get you one of them turkey sandwiches. Let the kids eat pizza.
I'm kind of partial to the Italian.
Italian's good too.
Italian sub.
Yeah, I've Italian. Only one I haven't had because I'm not a big fan of it is pastrami.
You don't like pastrami?
Not a fan.
I love pastrami.
I'll eat it if that's what the Lord has.
But it's really got to be like deli pastrami, you know, like with the onions and the mustard. I mean, like really a deli pastrami.
Like corned beef, not a pastrami guy.
A lot of the sauerkraut too. Yeah. Oh, love it.
I don't mind it with a good brat or something. But anyway.
2 out of 3 of these breaks have made me hungry this morning, so thank you for that.
Go to Dion's Pizza. Geneva Martinez with Many Hands going to join us here in just a few. We got an update to give folks on that, talking about some stuff they've got going on. So we'll do that conversation here in just a few minutes. But first, let's take a look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be hitting about 50 to 55 on the afternoon high today, and we've got a pretty good chance of showers with that low pressure system working its way through our area. For tonight, maybe a few lingering showers. They'll be over with by about midnight, our low in the upper 30s. We'll start off Wednesday with clouds and maybe an early shower, and then clearing up a little bit in the afternoon, upper 50s to about 60. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 41 degrees and overcast here in Roswell. Humidity is at 65%. Winds are out of the north at 5 miles per hour. We do have a 40% chance at rain showers today. It's supposed to be mostly cloudy here. The fog's supposed to burn off eventually. Expect a high of 56 today. Winds will be out of the northwest 5 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a 50% chance of rain. They're saying could see some patchy fog roll in overnight. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with overnight low of 39 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. And they say less than 1/10 of an inch. So a good chance of rain, just not a good chance of a lot of rain. So little rain. Wednesday, we're looking at a 20% chance of rain early for the AM hours. Patchy fog as well. Otherwise, cloudy early, then gradually becoming sunny. High of 57 tomorrow with winds out of the northwest at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 32. Winds out of the southwest at around 5 miles per hour. And then glancing at the rest of the week, mostly sunny, 61 for your Thursday. Friday, looking at sunny skies with a high of 58. And then for the weekend, sunny on Saturday, 56 for a high. And then sunny on Sunday as well, high of 58 expected there. All right, it is 16 minutes after 9. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then we'll talk with Geneva Martinez and Many Hands on the other side. Don't go away.
Do you feel like time is running out for your to-do list? Don't let wisdom teeth get in your way. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Wisdom teeth can cause you pain and a lot of unnecessary downtime. Patients appreciate the ease of wisdom teeth removal while they are comfortable and relaxed in our office. Call us today to schedule your wisdom teeth removal with sedation and let us take the stress out of the situation.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455. Up your spotting game with the help of Zia Guns USA in Roswell. Zia Guns USA is now an authorized full-line Tacticam dealer. The same scopes, cameras, and spotting equipment that the big boys use on TV. So now you can capture your hunt like never before. Zia Guns USA in Roswell also has a new shipment of knives by Benchmade and Case. Come check out the amazing selection for yourself. Take your hunt to the next level with Zia Guns USA in Roswell. Closed on Saturdays but open on Sundays at 1907 North Main in Roswell.
Can't hear as well as you used to? That can happen to the best of us, but when you can't hear people speaking or birds chirping, it's time to take action. That's when it's time to call Howard Allman with Here on Earth Hearing Care Center. Howard has been helping people hear better for over 55 years. Howard is who helps the Artesia seniors with servicing their hearing aids of all makes with free cleaning and hearing evaluations, and he's ready to help you. Howard can share with you information on Audibel Intrigue AI hearing aids with many features you might not expect a hearing aid can do, such as using your hearing aids to stream calls, music, and more. Plus, health monitoring, count steps, even fall detection, all built in. Meet face-to-face with someone who can help you choose the right hearing aid for you. Call Howard at 575-622-0375, and he'll be glad to set up a time to meet with you. That's 575-622-0375 for Howard Allman of Here on Earth Hearing Care Center.
Score a touchdown at your next tailgate with La Poblanita Party Tostadas. The perfect chip with the most satisfying crunch in the game. Flavored just right with El Charro's signature seasoning, it's the dippable chip that bites back. Make game night a winner with the chips everybody talks about. The chips that make bland salsas better and good salsas great. Snag a bag of La Poblanita Party Tostadas at your local grocery stores all over southeastern New Mexico. And get the party started with La Poblanita Party Tostadas by El Charro. They're all that and a bag of chips.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and surrounding areas. Roswell Tire and Appliance has what you're looking for with a great selection of refrigerators, freezers, washers and dryers, and ranges, and they can prepare your appliance as well with many models in stock and on sale. You can own it today. RTA services after the sale with repair, warranty, and delivery to Roswell and surrounding areas. Save big on a selection of scratch and dent appliances too, plus a great selection of tires and a team of people to help you when you need it most. Roswell Tire and Appliance, 101 South Main in downtown Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Many Hands organization, Geneva Martinez back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm well.
Good to hear. For folks that are not familiar, Many Hands is a nonprofit organization started a year or two ago, and their focus is on the homeless, helping homeless in our community. You may have heard of the Gonzalez Warming Center that opened up here about a month or two ago. That is kind of your tentpole right now at the moment. Thing that most people know you for is you guys help run and organize the Gonzalez Warming Center. Mm-hmm. But the real part of the organization is to help homeless people be able to purchase and move into their own homes. They work with other landowners that may have houses that are, let's just say, not ready for move-in. And you guys work with them and say, hey, we can help you kind of get this house fixed up. Will you rent it to one of our folks here? And we've had, one home already, a success here, and working on some more of that here too.
Yeah,
so,
3 more.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So glad to hear that. But I got it. Before we get into all that, if you were listening to Sean and I talk this morning, and I think last week when it all kind of went down, a celebrity, I guess, passed through town. Bam Margera, who professional skateboarder, huge in the early 2000s for his MTV show Viva La Bam, and of course Jackass fame and all of that. But kind of got famous from Jackass, and then Viva La Bam and all that kind of spun off from there. But he's a skateboarder by trade. So, I guess he was in Roswell for a spell. I'm just, how did all this just come to be? I'm curious.
It just all came together. I was sitting with Dan Jennings from 100% at Stellar Coffee, and I had seen that he was in Hobbs the night before, and that he was on his way to Albuquerque for the Comic-Con that happened this weekend, which I was able to go to that too. That was really cool. And so I was sitting there having coffee, and lo and behold, he walked in with his 2 pit bulls and his beautiful fiance, Danny, and I just gave him the look. I was like, oh. And Danny and I started a conversation about Roswell and how Roswell's treating him, and he came and sat down, and I was telling him about the skate park and the grant that the city received, the $450,000, and that we're looking at upgrading it and doing UFO skate features. And so I told him about my backyard ramp because our skate park doesn't have a high enough wall for me to do flips on. So he was like, you have a backyard ramp? Can I see it? So I showed him a few clips, and they wanted to come by. So they ended up coming by the house, He skated my backyard ramp. And
Nice.
He got some photos and.
He's still got skating skills.
Oh man, he's so.
Because I mean, he's
Yes.
at it. He's lived hard, and to be honest, I'm glad he's doing better.
Yeah.
Because for a while there, I thought, the grips of mental health was going to get him, and because he's had a lot of loss in his life, and he's had it. Fame has not been all kind to him, and
Right.
so it's glad to see that that he's doing, healthy, well with himself.
Yeah, I read an article and it was exactly what he, because I ended up spending about 3 days off and on getting to see them.
Yeah.
We skated the ditches in Albuquerque, but he had said that he's on this path of, routine, which is like getting up, walking his dogs.
Hey, he screams like a
exercising.
guy that needs a regiment. If you give him on a regiment, he'll be all right. It's when he's left to his own devices that I think trouble starts.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm like, well, he's not that crazy. Come on. But he got everyone fired up at the ditches to skate, and
Well, it's probably what makes him a great skater. I mean, because let's
Right.
face it takes a little gumption to go up a ramp on a piece of wood with four wheels and saying I'm going to fly through the air on this thing. You know what I mean? That takes a certain level of, what you do as a roller skater and what he does as a skateboarder.
Right.
It takes a certain level of, adrenaline to want to do that. And
yeah. So he was at Comic-Con and he had the longest line, I'm telling you.
Not
it
bad.
was all the way back, and it was just so neat to
he's charismatic
see.
too. I mean, he's a
Oh,
very
yeah.
personable guy.
And to see like people just so excited, and
Yeah.
like I saw this dad that was like, "Hey son, this is Dad's favorite skateboarder of all time."
Yeah.
And it was just really neat to see how he interacted with everybody.
Good deal. Well,
and
you think maybe that's a established little relationship, or
Yeah,
from
Danny
time to
and
time
I-
he might be able to help out with the skate park a little bit, or at least some of the promotion side of it.
It would
a little
be
bit.
it would be awesome. His girlfriend Danny and I have kept in contact. She's so sweet. She's a animal activist.
Okay.
So she's like, "Oh, you save humans, I save animals." And so
So were they in town on vacation, or were they here for business?
They were passing through to get to Comic-Con, and now they're headed to, I think, Chicago
Okay.
for the Comic-Con there.
So he kind of works the circuits for Comic-Con, and that's kind of I'm guessing a source of income for him at this point.
Yeah, so I gave his manager the contact info for a UFO festival.
Okay.
So maybe the city can come up with a sweet deal. Or,
Viva La Bam UFO edition.
Right?
That'd be fun.
it would be really cool. If the price is right.
I wish. Well, and for folks that don't know, and if you watched his TV show, years ago, he lives there in Pennsylvania, and at one point in his career, he bought basically farmland out there,
Built a castle.
and he turned it into his own little playground. He built castles. He'd have like these big huge parties, and I've learned later on that he personally flit the bill for a lot of that stuff. Like MTV wasn't paying for all the shenanigans and things that he was building, the castles and the trebuchets and all the different, the crazy things that him and the guys did. He paid for most of that out of his own pocket.
Yeah.
And so it's just, the guy was such committed to that. So for half of me, it was like, you sure you don't want to get a ranch in New Mexico and, come do some of that stuff? I'd love to go be a fly on a wall for that.
Right? Yeah. I was like, I hope New Mexico treated you guys well.
Good.
So.
Good deal. Well, I hope they did too.
Yeah.
Well, good. So hopefully, who knows? But made a connection, and who knows? Maybe could be a lifelong partnership there between Roswell and the Monjero family there. So that's cool. But in the meantime, let's talk a little bit about Many Hands and where are we at right now as far as how things are going, and what's kind of your greatest needs, and what's kind of your biggest hurdles at the moment.
So right now, we are still needing donations for monetary donations for the warming center.
Okay.
We are close to right around 2 weeks of funding left for us to operate.
And that's kind of the threshold. Like to run optimally, you have to have 2 weeks, I think, of funding
Right.
on hand.
Yeah. So
And if anything below that, you have to trim your
our
amenities.
hours, right? And so getting nervous about that, but really we need volunteers. So we are. It seems to be the same volunteers that are being asked because.
And we love those volunteers.
Oh man,
they are such godsends.
We wouldn't be open even if we had all the money. We wouldn't be open without.
And they're
people.
just great people, and a lot of these people are people that really are doing this kind of stuff anyway in their own ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Enrique with disaster relief, he's been doing that kind of thing for many years,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's people like that have this servant's heart, that are your stalwarts, that are there through thick and thin, and we love every one of them, but we really could use a few more of those people.
Yeah.
So if you've got the time and desire, we could really use your support on this.
Yes. And actually, your very own Jocelyn Smith is our volunteer coordinator.
Yeah.
So we can maybe put up her information for people to get in contact. They can visit the Gonzales hopewarmingcenter.com to contact about volunteering and donations that are needed.
Absolutely.
And our hours of operation. So, we have to activate trying to get our volunteers, what's for dinner. We kind of have like an activation system that has to be in place before we open the doors.
Gotcha.
So, and security. So
absolutely, because we got to make sure everybody's safe and comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously if someone comes in with medical or other issues, we need to address those. So you got to have the people on standby to deal with those issues as they come up. So
right.
So that you just can't turn on the lights and say come on in. It does take a little bit more. I'm thinking the weather's been a little bit warmer and things. So
actually, we're going to be opening this evening.
Okay. New tonight might get a little cold, but
because of the moisture.
Rain. Yeah,
the rain. So tonight we will be open, which will cut another day off of operations.
Means need more money.
Right. We need some monetary donations.
Just ballpark. Like I said, you got to have 2 weeks on hand.
So a night cost about $400.
About $400 a night. Okay.
And so that covers the cost of the security, dinner, and other amenities that we may need. If it's like going out getting Lysol, the toilet paper, a pallet of water, coffee,
just triaging whatever's needed at that particular moment.
Right.
Basically.
So we're averaging about $400 a night to open, and people can sponsor an evening or a weekend or a half day, however their budget can allow. In the meantime, we are working on several grants to try to make sure that we are able to do this next year. So what does it look like?
Yeah, this is not a temporary thing. This is something that you want to establish and create.
We do
as something as much as like when like Harvest Ministries, or one of our other great organizations that you say, okay, this is what they do. They do it all the time, and we want that Gonzales Hope Warming Center to be that same.
We do, and
thing.
We really want the building. We're looking at trying to get around $250,000 for the building, and it will not just be used as a warming center, but as a resource center. So it's a one-stop shop where everybody can, it wouldn't be just for those experiencing homelessness, but also those that are just experiencing hard time and can't navigate through the system.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard when you may need a counselor or AA. And then also, housing. Like,
Absolutely.
how do we navigate somebody?
Rarely someone that's homeless, their only issue is they're homeless.
Right.
Generally, there are other circumstances that put them there that need to be addressed to fix the big picture. Basically, it's kind of it's no different than like alcoholism or any of these other diseases. You can get someone physically off the substance, but if you don't fill the void of which they were trying to fill in the first place, then you're going to have a real difficult time getting them off of the. It's no different here. If you get them out of a homeless situation, you don't give them the tools to sustain it, and guess what? They're probably going to be right back homeless again.
Right.
So that's what you're talking about, is giving them not only the physical needs, but the tools to do this for themselves,
right,
and to be able to live their own lives and go in any direction they want to, and not be beholden to us or someone that's holding their hand, navigating them to it.
Yeah.
So they can live their own lives and pursue their own dreams.
Yeah, the state received some opioid funding also that was funneled through the city and the county, and I think the city is letting the county handle the opioid funding. And Dan has been meeting with Dara Dana and Christina Arnold for about the last year and a half, 2 years, discussing this exact need of the resource center. So we really hope that we'll be able to secure some of that funding for the center itself.
Good deal. Well, I know that's one thing that you and your volunteers, when it comes to turning over rocks, looking for this stuff, I know you're one that goes through every game. So I'm pretty confident if there's a grant or something out there in the ether, you're on it or working on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, but in the meantime, we just need the generosity of the community. We are such a great community when it comes to helping people in need. And right now, this is one of the big ones that the community is need. We have a homeless problem. Mm-hmm. It is a big problem, and it's getting worse, not better.
Right.
We all know this. We all know these statements. How do we deal with it? We can, there's probably some debate there, but these are human beings that need help.
Yeah.
And while everyone has their discussions on how to handle everything in the big picture, in the meantime, these are people that need food. They need water. They need a place to warm up. They need a place to live. Mm-hmm. Because if we wait for everyone to have their powwows about this, these people have already lost. We've lost them. So,
yeah.
Let's, if you got it in your heart, give $5, $100, $400, $1 million, whatever you can. This is a great place to help out here. And I don't know how tax breaks work, if you can still get in for the taxes on this season, or I think we've passed all that. But, if you need that, then work it in and they'll get you tax, for the write-offs and all that stuff. But we have weather this is our winter, and we have a huge influx of homeless people, even more so than what we normally would have. And these people need help. And this is what we're doing.
That kind of takes us to, the grants, state, federal, foundation grants, is we have to have our statistics. So it's very important that we participate in the point in time survey.
Yeah.
And so that's what's coming up. I'm excited to talk about the process of what a point in time survey is.
Yeah.
And so a point in time survey is like a census of those that are experiencing homelessness or do not have access to shelter. And it's a snapshot. So across the state, starting January 30th through February 2nd, we will be out in the community. I'm so proud of our community. Here's our great volunteers, right? So we have the most volunteers other than Albuquerque in the whole entire state.
That's great.
So
that is a testament to that thing we keep talking about, that this community, when push comes to shove, we rally to help people. And sure, we got our issues and our arguments, but I've never lived in a place where people were ready to jump in when they see someone in need.
Mm-hmm.
You've got everybody that kind of, not my backyard turned. I mean, there's a percentage of that everywhere, but you see someone on the street and they're having a problem, someone will come in and address them here and try to take care of them as best they can. Whereas you go to a larger city, look at Twitter and TikTok and all that. I don't know how many videos you see of San Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
Philly, of these homeless and drug addicts that looks like zombie land and all that. We're blessed. We don't see that in the streets as much. Does it exist? You bet it does. Those man camps and things that are off the beaten path. Let's just face it. They're not exactly friendly, inviting, warm places that you want to spend time with. It's just not. We have those, but people go into those areas and help all the time. But Geneva, those volunteers Geneva's talking about, other organizations and volunteers in our community, they are in the trenches. They're in there passing out blankets, just talking with people, just seeing what they can do to try to, help them a little bit. Now, let's face it, not everybody in that situation wants to be helped. Some people are just like, no, I'm their mental health, their life has just said, I don't want to be with people. I don't want to be in, normal society. And guess what? You have that right. God bless you. But some people, but that's what people are working with, those people. And we have those great volunteers that Geneva's talking about, and there's a lot that you don't see on the surface. And if you want to get involved, please go through these organizations. Talk to Many Hands. Talk to the other organizations. If you want to volunteer, go through those channels. Talk to them, especially if you want to get into more of the hands-on stuff. Because I would not recommend going out to some of the camps by yourself.
Right.
There's hierarchy, there's a protocol. I know organizations like yourself have spent many hours establishing relationships and creating a dialogue that, quite frankly, the average person just hasn't built that trust yet. So come in through those tools to help. And once you do that, you'll find that you'll make a bigger difference than you just trying to go down there on your own, making headway. So just work with the people that are already doing some of this stuff. And Many Hands is one of those organizations that's really diving in with both feet to help here. So if you want to help financially, if you want to donate items, things like that, food, clothing, blankets, water, cleaning supplies, everything that human beings need to live lives, they can use it at the Gonzalez Warming Center.
Yes.
Please reach out and do that, because every little bit helps. But money and bodies are the two big ones. If you can volunteer an evening to spend and help pass out water, or help, just tending to the needs of the shelter, or if you can help by donating, like I said, but costs about $400 a night to run that facility. And for it to be open at peak capacity for right now, they by statute they have to have 2 weeks worth of funding in the coffers before they can, otherwise they have to limit resources, limit the hours, limit what they can do. And the idea is to provide more resources, not less.
Right.
So if you can help out financially, that would be a huge way to help out.
And then on this Thursday at 11 o'clock at the Gonzalez Warming Center, we are putting together the blessing bags for the Point in Time survey. So we are working with other organizations, nonprofits, to how we're going to do the count. So at Harvest Ministries, we're going to have 4 or 5 volunteers there doing the pit count. We call it the pit count. It's Point in Time. And then at lunchtime at Community Kitchen, we'll be having a group of volunteers. And then we have our gentleman, Big D. He was with me the last time I was on the radio, and he is our street outreach, and he goes and picks up donations. So if there's, if you have a bunch of chapstick laying around, or you have a bunch of extra things, or you want to go out and purchase, we always need socks, gloves, and hats. And so to be able to pass that out when we are doing the survey is another one-on-one, not just to collect the information, but we're here, we care.
And clothes, sure, you can need clothes and things, but a lot of people donate clothes. A lot of people have clothes, and those stupid clothes keep shrinking on us and things like that. So they get donated quite a bit. Always could use it, but as far as what's always needed is those socks, underwear, hats, the things that Geneva's saying. I would even go so far as throwing toiletries in there, deodorants, toothpastes. Don't forget, men and women. Undergarments for men, women, and children. Yes, predominantly, most of the homeless are men. But there are kids, there are women, that are also amongst the ranks that are just as much need. So don't forget to purchase bras and girls' undergarments and clothing for children and teenagers too.
And when I first started this work 18 years ago, it was mostly just men. We are really seeing half and half.
It's about
at
that
the
high
warming
now.
center is half and
I didn't think
half.
it was that high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's not even coming in as couples.
And I don't even know how I feel about that. I'm like, yay, equality, but we shouldn't have anybody. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's very, it's sad that we have anybody, but.
And these women are put in, situations that they're more vulnerable
Yeah.
than.
Well, that's just, quite frankly, I would guess, and this is just, I'm spitballing, the women probably are lower on the hierarchy because they don't have the ability to defend themselves against some of these guys. And I'm guessing that, that community is much like any other community. And, the peacocks are going to peacock, and the mice are going to stay in the corner and be mice. Yeah. And by nature, in that world, women aren't going to peacock as much because, it's a dangerous game to do it in that world there. So I imagine it's, the hierarchy or the way things work in that world is not probably that far off how it works in quote unquote the mainstream world here. So they're at a disadvantage there, and I imagine there is some code amongst the homeless, but if you can't protect what you got, then you're not going to have what you have.
Yeah.
And that's just, how it works. And I'm guessing when they do get what they get and someone wants what they want, they're going to take it unless they have an ability to defend themselves.
Right.
So unfortunately, women aren't as equipped as men in most circles for that thing. I'm not saying it's always the case, but just on averages here, that's just how it works. So, but either way, the point is help out here. And as far as when we do the pick counts and that stuff next week, just the community, is it just needing volunteers to help with some of the tabulations and some of that kind of thing? Obviously, we don't want you as an untrained person to be going into some of the places.
There is training that there's 3 more webinars that are available for people to get trained. We are requiring everyone get trained.
We want to do it safe because we want our volunteers to be safe, and just as much as we want this to be a positive experience for everybody. Because quite frankly, if we finally lured you to come volunteer, the last thing we want you to do is have a bad experience doing it. We want you to come back.
Yeah, and if for some reason you want to volunteer but you didn't get the training done, we have other things at the warming center. We need runners. If we run out of blessing bags, they can bring it to us. There's other ways to get involved, and also we need those volunteers for the warming center.
Yeah, just to be there to help whatever he needs. And to be honest, if you want to get more involved, that's a good way to kind of get your feet wet. Start as a runner. Start coming out saying, hey, can I go and get water when needed? Or can I, those simple little things are the difference between the doors open and the doors closed. So if you're like, well, I'm not ready to dive into going to the camps and stuff, I'm a little intimidated by that. Well, come on down and let's get comfortable by first coming in, bringing water, meeting some of the people in the home, getting a familiarity with people. And then then some of those walls break down.
Yeah.
Because, you have preconceived. No, we all do. That's human nature. You see someone that looks unsavory coming at you, your guard comes up. That's human nature. And so this gives you a chance to kind of peel back a few of those layers and be like, oh, that guy's just like me, except for circumstances handed him different set of cards than I did. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
So dip the toe in to break the barriers, break down some of that conceptions of what you think's going on there. So,
yep.
But please volunteer, donate money, extra, whatever you can, if it's $5, $10, every little bit helps. You can reach out to the Many Hams Facebook. If you have a message or anything like that, if you have a question, you can always shoot there too. You can also go to the website, which is at GonzalezHopeCenter.com.
Gonzalez Hope Warming Center.com
or .org. I can't remember which. I get, but Google Gonzalez Warming Center, Roswell, New Mexico. The website will pop right up, and that way you can get in contact with Geneva or any other volunteers.
Yes, and we have a Facebook group also, so you can join the Facebook group.
Yeah, shoot a message there. Say, hey, I heard you on the radio. Want to get involved? What do I need to do?
Yes.
And like I said, they will be open tonight. What time is the warming center open on average when you do nights like this?
We start the dinner and getting ready around 6:00, and really everyone starts getting in and eating and settling down around 8:00.
Okay, so if you're interested in learning more, come out tonight.
Yeah.
If you want to come volunteer and see what it's all about, maybe you can pass out some water or put you on a station here. But if you want to come and see what's going on and see what Many Hands are doing what's work's being done. Tonight, the Warman Center will be open. Come see what it's like, what they need. And when you look, you say, man, you guys need it. Well, guess what? Yeah, we do. Come help us get that. That's what they want to do. This is grassroots, ground level
Very
stuff.
much grassroots.
This is just the community saying, you know what? We got a problem. We need to grab this bull by the horns and do something about it. And Geneva and the volunteers that work with Geneva, really, you guys are awesome doing this kind of stuff. And I know you guys hit a lot of barriers, a lot of walls, a lot of people saying, yeah, that's great, but I don't want that in my backyard. I don't want, yeah, we need something. I just don't want to see it, hear it, or deal with it.
It's a weird time to experience, like, it's hard to help.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rewarding in its own way, but it's actually a lot. You have to have thick skin.
Yeah.
You have to understand that not everybody thinks the same way or feels the same way about a particular population. So
absolutely.
So if your heart is in it, we need you. We want you.
We're all people. We're all human beings, and it's just helping other human beings. At the end of the day, that's what. And I know we have a lot of Christians, a lot of churchgoers on Sunday, and I'm not trying to call anybody out, but the messages you're learning in church on Sunday, this is what they're telling you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Give back, help others, be a steward to your fellow human beings, and this is it. Forget politics, forget all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Does a human being need a sandwich or a shelter or a place to warm up? Can we do that? Let's talk politics or how that situation happened later. But can we get this person a place to sleep tonight? Can we do that? And then we'll figure out the rest later. That's where we're at right now. Can you find it in your heart to at least say, let's get this person something to eat. Let's get this person a place to stay. Let's get this person some dry clothes. Let's get this person in touch with someone that has a bed for them to sleep in every night. That's what this is about. It has nothing to do with who got where to how to what or whatever. This is about human beings needing help, and they need help from other human beings. If you'd like to be one of the human beings that help the other human beings, then please reach out to many hands and start with bringing a case of water, and who knows where that leads you. So, is there anything we missed or anything we wanted to cover?
No, if so, I'll see you next week.
Well, and I want to get you in here every month at least, just to get people updates, because and I know what's going to happen. The weather's going to get warmer, and people are going to get a little short-sighted and not think about you guys as much, because quite frankly, it's like, won't hurt to sleep under the stars tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not really the problem.
Right.
The problem.
We want to treat the person as a whole, and that's not just sheltering, right?
And
it's getting down to what they really need.
And what I love too is the core of what you guys do, because when you talk about the homes and things, let's face it, we've got a lot of properties that are homes that are just beat up and people shouldn't be living anymore. They're slumlord type scenarios here. Why can't we address both?
Right.
Say, hey, what if we get money? What if we can get you a few grand to build your house back into livable conditions again, and then we put somebody in it, and then you get enough people doing that, and all of a sudden these neighborhoods that were crime ridden are now nice neighborhoods again, because all the houses are filled. Yep. People are living in there and taking an interest in what's going on their street, and then next thing you know, there's less people coming to the Gonzalez Warming Center tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Because there's not as many people that need it.
Yeah, home rehabilitation program is the quickest way to address lack of housing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we look at our infrastructure of our water, we're having to replace all those pipes now. A lot of the same time those pipes were put in, or is when a lot of our housing was built.
And guess what? When you live in these neighborhoods, and then these other neighbors fix up their houses, guess what?
Your property value
goes up too. And next thing you know, your house all of a sudden is worth $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 more, strictly because it's in a more desirable neighborhood now.
Yep.
Because the issues you had before have gone away, because now this is a fix a big problem. This is more than a Band-Aid. This is solving a root problem here, so that we can actually see a decline. That, God forbid, we don't even need a warming center, because there's not enough people to warrant a need for something like that. That would be a beautiful problem to have. But we're not there or anywhere close to that yet. But we could be. It just takes one house at a time, one person being helped at a time. So get involved. Put all your feelings aside and boil it down to helping human beings become better human beings, helping them achieve their dreams and lives. And every single homeless person is homeless for their own very reason. If there's 100 homeless people in a room, there's 100 different reasons why they're homeless.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them are the same. Some could be similar, but it's a different story. It's, how life is handed to you. It chews up people and spits them out a different way sometimes. And all of us have dealt with hardship and adversity. Some of us have come out okay with it. We're lucky. Some of us haven't. Mm-hmm. And this is what this is about. We all get dealt different set of cards, but we all try to win the poker game at the end. At this point, we're just trying to help everybody stay in the game and do this. So be a part of that, not a part of why we shouldn't.
Right.
There's enough people out there saying why we shouldn't. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Did we get it all?
We got it all.
Did I pontificate enough? All right. Well, thank you as always, Geneva. We'll see you next time here. And folks, come on out. I'm sorry, we know we never did. Tell everybody the address for the warming center.
405 East 3rd Street.
I think we did all that talking. We never actually said the physical location of the warming center.
Yeah, right.
So, come on by. Like I said, this evening it will be open for because of the weather. So if you need it, it's there. Come on down. If you'd like to volunteer, be a part of it, see what it's about, get more involved, come on down tonight and see it in action and, bring some money or bring some water, bring some blankets, bring some stuff with you too. That'd be helpful. So, deal. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
See if you bump into any other celebrities between now and the next time I meet you. Who knows? Maybe Tony Hawk will come through town.
Maybe.
That would be like the trifecta there.
Wouldn't it?
Tony. He can move some needles too for the skate park. So.
For sure.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Geneva.
Thank you.
All right, 9:56. Quick break before we get kicked off the radio. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. The United Airlines CEO is frustrated by ongoing manufacturing problems at Boeing and says his airline will consider alternatives to buying a future, larger version of the Boeing 737 MAX. United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby tells CNBC that Boeing needs to take real action to restore its previous reputation for quality. A mixed open on Wall Street ahead of a slew of corporate earnings reports. This week brings a rush of companies reporting their results for the last 3 months of 2023, with roughly 70 companies from the S&P 500 on the calendar. Verizon jumped almost 5% in pre-market after it beat revenue and adjusted profit expectations. General Electric slipped 3.5% after reporting better than expected fourth quarter results but delivering a tepid forecast. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
At Artesia General Hospital, our board-certified podiatrists are committed to providing personalized care in a welcoming environment. Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa offer the latest surgical techniques and treat a range of conditions including arthritis, bunions, joint care, and more. If you're suffering from foot, ankle, or lower leg pain, we can help. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request an appointment and begin your journey toward happier, healthier feet.
Pecos Valley Production is excited to announce their online ordering has never been easier because now you can order from PVP online in Spanish. Simply head for PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of your screen from English to Spanish. Now it's never been easier to get access to the healing and calming products you need simply and affordably. Just log on to PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of the screen from English to Spanish. Pecos Valley Production. Dairy to dank since 2016. Must be 21 or over with valid ID to purchase.
We can all use help to strengthen our marriages, to build this house. Church on the Move invites you to the Joy of Marriage Conference, a 3-day event for married couples. Hear speakers Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman, American Idol finalist Danny Goki and his wife Leah Sett, as well as Willie and Rachel Scott, founders of Better Than Blended. February 15th through the 17th, at Church on the Move in Roswell. Seats are limited. Visit cotmroswell.com or call the church office 575-622-7011.
The Artesia Arts Council presents Gunhild Carling, Sweden's Queen of Swing, Saturday, January 27th at the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center in downtown Artesia. Gunhild Carling and the entire family of musicians, singers, dancers, and more promise a dazzling evening that you and your family won't soon forget. Pre-sale adult tickets are $35 and $25 for K-12. Week of show tickets are $45 and $35. So get yours early at artesiaartscouncil.com. Enjoy the marvelous Gunhild Carling, Sweden's Queen of Swing, 7 p.m. Saturday, January 27th at the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center in downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The New Hampshire primary is underway. And